Hello, boys and girls. It is Kofu, and I just realized I've been sitting here, zoning out, and doing what I should be doing on stream, which is fixing my PNG-TUBER. Because I just realized that I think this was to save time, but my eyeballs are on the same layer as the irises. So they don't really get to move around. They just get to stay there static. So, let's change that. And also, yes, 3 days left until my birthday. Here, let me change the music. This is penis music. Penis music playing. Here, let's go. Elmo and his AK-47. A charming stare into the soul. Yes, indeed. I'm also gonna work on expressions today, so that'll be fun. Here. There we go. Perfect. And speaking of my PNG-TUBER, why isn't it on? Oh. It crashed. That's nice. There I am. There she is. She's here. Just give her a second. There she is. Can't wait to see the Pogger emotion. The Pogger one. That's funny. You can also see my little PNG-TUBER clipping on the top of my screen. Alright, I fixed it. There's a few edits I've been wanting to make. So we'll see. Already I fixed, there's like a little stray line that's just been here. So I fixed that. Now it's time to fix this. Let me show you how to. Is it anywhere else? No, just here. Okay, good. Shit. Alright, gotta get these out of here. Where is everyone? Probably pooping or peeing. As I like to tend to do. Oh, I have another idea. Okay. I'm gonna make a version of this with just the eyeballs. Damn, I didn't know that was there. Need a last of the eye out. No, this saves time. This saves time. Because to last of the eye out, I'm gonna need to to go pixel by pixel, precise. Most likely I'm gonna end up deleting them anyhow off of the other layer, and I'll show you how I do that too. Pixel perfect, but long. Yeah, it'll take very long to finish that. Saw it. Easy. Easy. Now, that leaves me with this. And now I'm gonna fill. This looks creepy, I know. But trust, it'll make sense. It'll make sense! Hold on, I'm a little quiet. Let me turn myself up. Oh no. I'm dead. Dead, Kofu. There we go. Need a ring. 7 rings in hand. Bop 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 bop. Bop bop. Bop 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 bop. You know, bro, and most people who use Live 2D, even the whites in the eyes are separated. So this is already me putting together more to save time, but I don't really have any interest in animating this part. I only want to animate the eyes. And this is my ass. This is bothering me. This is the shading that you see when the eyes are closed. Easy. Oh, I get it. I did that like that because it didn't look natural. Otherwise. Awesome. There we go. Wait, did I do it on this layer? Fuck! I did it on this layer. No! Separating the eye yolk from the eye white, yeah. Essentially. Easy? A lot of this process was going back and forth forth, making a mistake, and then having to go, fuck. Nah. But I do like that. Bad idea. Start from scratch. No. Never. There's a lot good about this that I really like. It looks balanced. It looks homogeneous in my eyes. It looks good. I would never just remove this when I just made it like a few months ago. Oh god, that would be horrible. I could try, but I feel like there'd be no point really. Huh. It's because these aren't exact. I see. Perfect! Perfect! Yay! Now the iris can move around, and I'll be able to move it independently. Imagine like this. Oh, you know a good thing? Well, good that I see that this has these floaters. Here. It looks so weird. Perfect. I should probably have right eye, left eye, shouldn't I? It was possible to, like, not animate them. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Having a left eye, having a right eye. Why do people put the eye white on a separate layer? I think it's because in Live 2D, it's a different program that I'm using. I'm using PNG-TUBER, but when people use Live 2D to make their puppets, if you like have the eye white on a separate layer, I think you can rig it better. Like you can actually rig it to like set up to form on someone's face, but PNG-TUBER isn't about that. It's about like moving when I talk, or if I press like a costume or a button, then I can put on that costume or a button or have it be linked to an event. So for the purposes of a PNG-TUBER, I don't really need to get like as granular as one would expect out of doing something more complicated like Live 2D and needing to rig everything. Yeah. Not to say Live 2D is bad whatsoever. I love Live 2D. Makes some beautiful rigs. But it is simply just not what I'm doing. I'm just fixing it up a little bit, because there's some things that I could fix and have be a little more cartoony. Like the lashes are really long. I'm not necessarily sure how much I like that. Like I like the little simplistic cartoony eyelashes. There we go. That looks better to me. Some annoying motherfucker, bro. In my background going, vroom, vroom. Like, okay. You think your dick big? It not. It do not. And I could have a... Now that I'm thinking about it, I could separate the eyebrows too. Oh, I didn't know that was like that. Perfect. another thing I wanted to do. Yeah, exactly. And I can animate it with the expressions without needing to redraw the eyebrows. I could actually tilt the eyebrows, tilt it, yeah. But I will say there's a certain, this one is really cute. Hold on. Alright. Oh. There's something about this that I really like. I don't know what it is. This one is a way more balanced face. I like the nose better. But the sweater that I added like these sweater highlights and it just looked good. The color variety is good too. But the hair looks too spiky to me, you know? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh yeah! And I wanted to separate the ears as well. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I wanted to separate the ears. Let me do that before doing the clover. Because then, I can edit the ears and have them be a part of the animation. And honestly, I made this in mind knowing that I would go back and fix it and cut it apart more so that I could use it however I see fit and animate it over time rather than having it done right away, because I was like, well, I don't know exactly how to do that. And now that I have more experience with PNG-TUBER and playing around with it and seeing what I could have done better, now I have a better idea of how I'm gonna cut these out and animate them. This should be simple. Perfect. Let me change the song. This is good, but I want to change it now. There we go. Perfect. ba ba bo, beep beep bo, ba ba beep beep bo. Come on. Why does it do this? Okay. Oh. Come on, you can do it. No, it doesn't want to do that. Well, that might be for the best anyway. Wait, in reality, I should be dividing 1. Go make your sandwich. Sounds yum dilly umptious. Left? Right. Now, wow, 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 wee, wow, 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 wow. New and improved. This will look so good. I know. Ooh. Ooh, it looks so good. There we go. Go. Perfect. It might have been smarter if I worked solely on one ear and then I flipped it. But it's a little late for that now, isn't it? Do the bangs cover that? Yes, they do. So don't worry about that. Just need to worry about them being independent of each other. Perfect. And let's see, what happens... if I were to turn this over... they don't really look all that good when... yeah, let's say... okay, let me try to turn it. No, they don't look good. Yeah, I think I might need to make new ears. Which isn't a problem. I knew I'd probably have to remake some of the assets. Okay. I can do it. Better I do this now, and then, when I work... this stream looks weird. I just looked up and saw how the stream looks. It looks strange. Hi, Shades. I'm remaking this creature. I think I'm not going to make the ears look so triangular. It looks more cat-like rather than raccoon-like. Anyway, so I think this is maybe probably a blessing in disguise to make it more readable as a coon. What? What? What did I say? I opened Procreate. Why? Wait, did I miss something? Oh, that makes sense. Oh, you're just teasing your gifts. I get it. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just in a nice, calm, chill mood. Here. Beep bop bop. Beep beep bop. Ba da da bop. Perfect. That looks much more coon-like. So much more coon-like. Oh, this head needs to go up higher, doesn't it? Bald! My pussy bald like Caillou. Bitches be like, how do? I'm swag like Caillou. Fuck. Perfect. Perfect. Looks like a penis. This looks like a penis. My brain is special. I have the special brain. Look with your special brain, Kofu. My brain! Okay, get the bangs back. Because that's important to know. How they look when layered. Layered! Here. Not everything needs to be phallic, girly. But what if it was? What if it was? What if it could be. Alright, let's go. Beep-bop-boop. Beep-beep-boop. Ba-ba-boop. Beep-beep-boop. Beep-bop-boop. Beep-beep-boop. Ba-ba-boop. Beep-beep-boop. Ba-ba-boop. Beep-beep-boop. Ba-ba-beep-beep-boop. Ba-ba-boop. Beep-beep-boop. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-boop. My eyes! Bald. 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 Poor Becky. She doesn't know. She's just letting herself be moved around. For the bangs. Let's check if that's good with those. I want to make these able to move around. So I have to make more of it that can't really be seen by the audience until they make movement. And they're gonna fit right to this head. There we go. Perfect. There you are. There you are, girly. There you are. Wig snatched. Oh, wait. I'll divide them later. They're not attached to each other like the other ones. Some things I just do over with my mouse. Just because I'm lazy and I don't want to pick up my... I don't want to pick up my pen again. That looks so much cuter. Honestly, this looks like me when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I would often wear my hair in braids. And then over the course of like a few days, I'd pick my hair out of my braids because I've always like really enjoyed the texture. It's like one of my autistic things, really enjoying the texture of hair. So I would eventually pick my I would have these little braids pressed up flat to my sides. And I had a little small ass head. Me, bro. I was a little weirdo as a kid. I was like, when I do a face reveal at 1 million, because I will make that a goal. If you want my face, you want a face reveal, give me 1 million subs. Maybe even 100,000. I'll consider it. Because I don't know if I could even ever do more than 100,000. That would be my goal. I think if that's like a real goal that I have, then I should probably start making more videos and more stream highlights. However, the audio in most of them are fucking terrible. And I can't fix it. So that's kind of what... Yeah. 1 million would be funny. 100K would be more feasible. Yeah. Realistically. Hold on. That's nice. Okay. Oh. That's the head layer. But I really like the little side hairs. Like the back side hairs. It's very cute. Look at that. That's cute. Now it looks more raccoon-like because the ears are more rounded and tinier. 10 mil, you'll get past Plaster Brain to make a Kofukune theme. I could do that now if I had money. Now if I had the money to do that, that would be immediate. I would be like, Plaster Brain, have this money? I would probably overpay her, honestly. Because I've hosted some of her music on my channel. And I feel bad about that. I don't monetize them. Like, if you get ads on those videos, they're not going to me. Just use an ad blocker, because I don't monetize anyone else's music. Like Lassa. I don't know how you pronounce her name in English, but I love her album. I love her stuff. I also host her music on my channel. I don't monetize that either, but I would love to give them money, because there have been a lot of people who find my content through Plaster Brain and through Lassa and through, oh yeah, and Sinamota. I had his last album, Ikiru, on my channel before it could be found publicly online, because I dug for it. I went through like a dozen search engines to find this one Japanese streaming service. It wasn't even Japanese. I think it was a Chinese streaming service that had the descriptions of all the songs, and you could stream them. So I just recorded it. I recorded the audio from my computer and let it play for like a few hours. I also think maybe putting like something a little more raccoon adjacent here would also make it look cute. Kawaii. Kawaii desu ne? Wait, why am I still on the head layer? Get off of that layer! I'm not on you, bitch! I'm here. Thank you. I'm hearing fuzz from my microphone. Is anyone hearing fuzz? Let me know if you're hearing any weird fuzz or like static, because I'm starting to hear it in my microphone. Like a soft fuzz, probably from my USB port, honestly. Lock any layer you don't use. That makes sense. Let me see the part that the bangs cover, because eventually you are going to be able to see, because when I animate it, it's going to go lower. Do I really still like that color? Not really. I'll go over here. Less intense. And I'll kind of color in this. A little bit of that. Oh, wait. Actually, what I should do instead... Perfect. And then I'll go a little bit deeper for the inside. Oh, okay. I'm already selected. Kofu becoming more raccoon-like and less tanuki. A little bit. It just doesn't look too raccoon-like to me enough. Maybe that's just me being picky. But that's just kind of what I've been thinking. Like when I look at my little PNG-TUBER, I'm like, looks more like a cat, you know? Like, I wouldn't expect anyone to guess that this is a tanuki. That looks alright. Having like a little thing like there would be good. Perfect! Ears, girl. Ears, girl. Mouth, girl. The way you say you dick, boy. That was so funny. I loved that. It was hilarious. I can't really see the catness in this model. I appreciate that. I really like this color that I picked for that, so I'm not going to change it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. 3D. Defining the shape. Perfect. Perfect. That looks really good. Overalls boy. Ear tufts girl. Braids girl. Fangs boy. Eyelashes girl. Honestly. Eyelashes girl. Alright. That looks good. Now I need to do this color. This is a little too deep. The purple. Are clovers a boy thing? Guys, kind of want to put on some true crime. Should I put on some true crime right now? Like some copyright-free true crime. London's mystery. True crime docs. Let's see. The Best Friends Who Became Serial Killers, true crime documentary. Oh, this is about me and Shady, I think. Yeah, that was me and Shady. We did that the other day. Y'all don't remember that? I literally did that the other day with Shady. It was crazy. Shady's fucking weird, bro. Shady's just a little weirdo. Where's she at? Oh, perfect. Here we go. Oh, fuck, that's big. Let's have it playing. Here, let me get off of studio mode. Let's have it playing right here. Oh my. Friends who kill together most probably don't go to jail together. That's mean Shady though, bro. What are you talking about? This, bruh. Oh, fuck. My overlay. Don't move, overlay. Stay right there. Perfect. They hold hands when going to jail. Yeah, we do. We hold hands even when we don't go to jail. It's just love. Can you guys hear that?
Hear warnings from a young age about the importance of trusting our gut in dangerous situations.
I think y'all
We're
hear
told
that.
to be cautious of suspicious strangers,
Wait,
especially
okay.
after dark.
If I make
and
that bigger,
always
then
to be safe rather than sorry if we feel that something
send me
is
this
off.
new ref after stream.
Sometimes it can
It's
be
the same
easy to
reference.
brush off this advice.
I
we
just
may
edited
think
it
that
a little
there's
bit.
no way anything terrible could actually happen to us in our own lives.
Oh god.
We've all heard stories in movies and on TV
Oh, God.
of deranged killers and
Yeah, I
cold-blooded
remember you.
psychopaths. But if we really came face to face with these monsters in a dark parking lot one night,
Yeah, I would
how
win.
would we react?
I would win.
Would we fight for our lives, flee out of fright, or freeze, unable to move?
I would
and
pull out my
paralyzed by
9 and
fear?
start blasting.
The woman we interviewed for today's episode unwittingly discovered her answer to that question on a pitch-black night.
Y'all
back in
wouldn't
1998.
just pull out your gun
What
that
is
you
up,
obviously
Ewu
have
crew?
and start blasting?
We
What the
love
hell?
hearing real-life true stories from our listeners, just like the one you
Real
will be
life
hearing
true
today.
stories from our listeners.
If you or someone you know have had a similar unsettling encounter that you would like to share,
sign up to be
please
exploited.
reach out to
I
us
mean,
to
sign
speak
up
about
to
setting
tell
up
us
an interview
your
that
story.
could be featured in an Ewu episode.
You only fixing ears, girl?
As always, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Now, let's get into it.
Oh.
Wesley Shermantine and Lauren Herzog were like two peas in a pod. Born only 2 months apart in the mid-1960s, they grew up as indisputable
brother.
best buddies. navigating their youth side by side in the small town of Linden, a quaint rural area of California, nestled a little way south of Sacramento and 95 miles east of San Francisco. During their childhoods, they lived on the exact same street within the quiet farming town, which had a tiny population of less than 2,000
Yeah, if
people.
you play Toho, you just know to dodge bullets.
Parents who made the young boy's life very comfortable, and he was never left wanting for material possessions. However, his outwardly idyllic family life held dark secrets that his parents tried to keep hidden from the public eye.
Why?
The Shermantines had a collective reputation in the town for being people you didn't want to cross unless you wanted to risk being ominously dealt with.
What?
Despite young Wesley's harsh home life with expectations for perfection, he and Lauren were never afraid to get their hands dirty, and they spent most of their time outdoors in the rugged wilderness, hiking through the surrounding hills or hunting and fishing in the woods.
Bruh.
In 1984, the pair graduated from Linden High School, and despite their
I'm thinking about Second Life.
It seemed as if they were headed on the right path.
They were headed on the right path?
Just 1 year later, an incident would shock the whole town, sending it into disarray and throwing these two fresh graduates into the eye of suspicion. A local teenage girl named Chevelle Chevy Wheeler went missing on October 16th, 1985. She had been dropped off at school in the morning, just like any other day, but she apparently had other plans for the afternoon. She confided in some of her girlfriends that she had an exciting meetup to attend. She was going to skip class to hang with a boy she knew. But when Chevy gleefully snuck off the school grounds that day, neither she nor her friends could have ever guessed that this was the last time the innocent young student would ever be seen alive. When Chevy failed to return from her secret excursion, Wesley was identified as a person of interest. Authorities pinned him down as the boy that Chevy had made plans to meet up with.
Like the
Unfortunately for Wesley, word of his troublesome antics and mischievous inclinations had traveled fast in the small town, and his reputation had preceded him. Townspeople knew that he and Lauren had gotten into some shady business throughout the years, like roughhousing, drinking, and most concerningly, hard drugs. Specifically, the two boys had begun to heavily use methamphetamine.
Oh, hell no.
If you're familiar with drug terminology,
you make ears way bigger when you draw chibis. Well, you're supposed to do that. You have to exaggerate all the features.
The word speed and the moniker Speed Freak Killers originated from the influence of meth on the pair's violent activities.
What?
Authorities and theorists alike believe that this behavior-altering drug was largely responsible for the boys' alleged killing frenzies. And Chevy's sister later shared an important detail during the ensuing investigation that aligned all too well with Wesley's known drug use. She reported that young Chevy had mentioned her intentions to smoke marijuana with Wes at their hangout that day. Accordingly, because of Wesley's already questionable public image and connection with 16-year-old Chevy, the police obtained a search warrant and investigated the young man's secluded hunting cabin. Inside the small building, they discovered blood. At first, they couldn't be sure if this evidence was meaningful. After all, it was a hunting cabin. Perhaps the blood was from a freshly caught deer. And indeed, Wesley and his folks maintained that previously slaughtered game was to blame for the red stains.
Right.
But when the blood was tested, the results seemed to confirm law enforcement's worst fears. The blood type matched Chevy's. And then another strange turn of events fueled police suspicion.
What?
Allegedly, Wesley, who was fairly well acquainted with the Wheeler family, had confidently shown up at Chevy's home the day after she went missing, pulling up casually in his pickup truck and playing dumb when her concerned mother and father asked him what had happened to their beloved daughter.
What?
He apparently laughed at the parents' frantic questioning and shrugged off the implications of Chevy's disappearance
Oh,
with a
hell
sort
nah.
of smug nonchalance, asking them how he could possibly know anything.
How could I
Despite his
possibly
surety
know
that he
anything?
wasn't under suspicion, authorities were already on his trail after finding the incriminating blood samples. As concerning as this revelation was, the fact remained that the police were unable to locate any concrete evidence to charge Wesley. DNA analysis technology was not sophisticated enough at the time
What
to
the
garner
whip?
any real conclusions. So, the case went cold, and Wesley walked free. Over a decade later, police would discover that Lauren and Wesley, the two young troublemakers they had let walk free, went on to orchestrate what some have estimated to be 72 murders between 1984 and 1999.
Y'all like killing
The
that
deadly
much?
streak is thought to have begun around the same time as their meth abuse, when the two were only about 18 or 19 years old.
Oh boy.
How the duo pulled off this deadly stunt for so long, without detection, is hard to say for certain.
That's a lot
But
of
another
deaths.
missing person case that began 14 years after Chevy's pulled the elusive young men back into the spotlight. On November 14th, 1998, Cindy Vanderheiden, a 25-year-old woman who had grown up in San Joaquin County just as Wesley and Lauren did, suddenly and inexplicably vanished without a trace.
Oh, hell
Nobody
no.
quite knew what to make of her disappearance, as just earlier that same day,
Oh, hell
Cindy
no.
had eaten lunch and casually shopped with her mother before heading to a karaoke night at Linden Inn.
Oh,
This
hell no.
establishment was one of the two bars owned by Cindy's father, both of which that Wesley and Lauren had frequented for quite a while. On this particular day, Cindy dropped her car off at her dad's other bar before meeting up with a friend, and the two rode together to the Linden Inn, excited for a fun
That's so
night of
cute.
singing and letting
Look how
loose.
cute that is.
Now, Cindy's older sister
how
reportedly
cute
had
that
a fling
is?
with Lauren at one time.
It's perfect.
So when
It's
Cindy
exactly
saw
what I
him
wanted.
and Wes at the bar, she struck up a casual and friendly conversation.
Saturday.
After a relatively uneventful night, Cindy's friend gave
Just
her a
tucked in
ride back to
between
her
there.
vehicle, which she had left
Ear
behind
moment.
at her
Not
father's
the
other
ear, the
bar
clover on the
before
head.
following Cindy home
Look
as
at
she
that little
drowsily
clover, it's
drove
so
down
cute.
the deserted streets at
Just
2 a.m.
plop. Right there.
After the friend was sure that Cindy had safely pulled into the driveway of her home, she drove away, secure in the knowledge that Cindy had made it back safe and sound to the household, where both of her parents were already asleep. And indeed, the next morning, Cindy's parents would report hearing their daughter pull into the driveway in the wee hours of the night. But it appeared that Cindy herself had never entered the home. In the morning, she was nowhere to be seen, and while her mother grew increasingly nervous, her father decided to call up Cindy's workplace and see if she had somehow managed to wake up, get ready, and depart for her shift without either parent knowing. This seemed like the more obvious solution, but
Right.
unfortunately, Cindy's parents' misgivings were confirmed when they were shockingly told that Cindy had never shown up for work.
Gotta love a clover moment.
Her father immediately began driving around town in a panic, searching for any possible signs of his missing daughter. But what he soon discovered didn't help to ease his worries. Cindy's car was abandoned in a local cemetery.
Oh, hell
Her money,
no.
cell phone, and purse were all inside. But of course,
I literally
there was
have the
no
clover
Cindy.
duplicated in this
When the
project because
police
I was gonna
arrived
wait
to
and see if you
investigate,
added on to
their
Becky's
first
head today.
instinct was
Yes.
to suspect foul play, but they couldn't
No more.
deny that
Bald!
there were no signs of a
Bald!
struggle present at the scene. Over 1,000 citizens dedicated their time to
Damn.
searching for the missing girl over the following weeks,
Damn.
but to no avail. By then, authorities were putting the puzzle pieces together.
No.
What a strange coincidence, they thought, that Wesley was not only a primary suspect in the disappearance of Chevy all those years ago, but now he was also one of the last witnesses to interact with
What a
Cindy
nice
before she
coincidence.
vanished. Attempting to delve deeper into this theory, they focused on searching the isolated hills and scouring mine shafts that Wesley and Lauren were known to frequent. After these intensive searches, they were left empty-handed. Still, With all reasoning to believe that Wesley was involved, the police couldn't turn a blind eye to the smug young man. In 1999, they searched his vehicle and once again found blood. But this time, the bodily fluid was definitively identified as that of Cindy Vanderheiden. While these DNA analysis results were being confirmed, the police began laying the groundwork for their case against Wesley. And to do that, they knew their best bet was to get his faithful friend Lauren to start talking. He was brought in for interrogation, and although he was initially a bit tight-lipped, he soon began to spill secrets of a magnitude that went way beyond the scope of what anyone had expected. At first, he was defensive and refused to throw Wesley under the bus.
But then he did
gets
anyway.
pretty wild when he's doing drugs or when he's cranking and when he's drinking, doesn't he? He gets pretty wild, doesn't he?
I don't know. Wild enough, I'd say.
You ever think that Wes would be capable of forcing a girl to have sex with him?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Probably. Maybe not.
Probably. Maybe not.
But in an interview soon after, Lauren had a change of heart and opened up a lot more.
She kind of went back to go back to her car. She said that several times, you know. It wasn't going that way. I was still in the backseat, just like something would have been to the road going, this isn't good. Well, he started telling her to do stuff, you know, and it's kind of a back and forth argument kind of thing. And I needed to do stuff as in
Perfect.
sexual acts, I guess is what you call it.
Sexual acts, I guess, is what you call it.
More and more.
Get more wilder.
I told him at one point, Wes, don't kill her, man. Take her back to her car. When I got out of the car, I started backing up. He kind of looked at me one time and I was going,
Perfect. Good. Yes. No. Yes. God, I'm hungry.
Well,
You'll probably make me some soup.
His speech is hard to decipher in this
that's
dated
what that
footage,
is.
but he seems to describe something about Wes holding down the victim.
he was, you know,
My alarm.
on top of me, like, trying to hold her down, you know.
Just normal little bro thing.
Yeah, I remember he said just let it come natural.
Bruh.
I mean, I can't believe that.
Did I not finish something on the
This
ears?
is dying, you
You
know.
look done.
Let
me just- Craving shrimp tempura. Yeah, Shady. Now that you had some.
He then makes a point to claim that Wesley tried to get him to join in on the foul acts. But Lauren, of course, says he refused
Oh,
to get physically involved.
totally.
Trying to get me to
He
do this
totally
and that, and I wouldn't do
did.
it. I told him, no way.
No bangs. They will get back on, don't worry.
He took blankets out of his trunk and wrapped her up, put her in the trunk. I almost don't even know where I was. I mean, I know I was there, but my mind was just gone. I was just sitting there comatose, felt like
I didn't do anything.
I wanted to leave.
I wanted to leave.
And I couldn't believe where
Bruh.
The interrogator asks Lauren if this
When
new
my
story
money
is
up,
the
I need to
truth,
go.
since it
Yeah,
directly
same.
conflicts with what he had told them earlier about Wes's innocence.
Alright, awesome.
Lauren nods that, yes, this story is an accurate retelling of what really
Perfect.
happened that night with Cindy. In yet another interrogation session, Lauren shares the sad details of Cindy's last moments. He also says Wesley boastfully asserted that he would not
Detective,
be
I was
going
being
to prison.
a little silly.
she tried to bargain with him more or less. Kind of a, please let me go, and then, I don't know if it was trying to talk But maybe she just had calmed down to try to talk to him. I don't know if she was trying to calm him down or not.
Is there anything else I want to fix?
I guess it wasn't the time.
I mean, it looks good to me. It looks cool-like.
Then she started
Looks like a
screaming
little
again. She was starting to
raccoon.
calm though for a minute. Then she started screaming again.
When he said, "So what's the story?" What did you tell him?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to make a frowning mouth.
I don't think I gave him a reply. I don't remember giving him a reply.
Let's make a little
When
frowning
he
mouth.
asked you, or he told you, "I'm not going to prison," did he just say that, or did you ask him, "Well, why'd you kill her?"
I guess he. I didn't ask him that. He said it.
He just said it.
I'm not going to prison. Little that told on me. My reply, I think, was to his, "But you don't want to see me for a while." I wish I could turn the clocks back.
I'm so
I wish I could turn
confused
the
by
clocks
this.
back first.
Lauren goes on to confirm his accusations that Wesley was behind it all. The assault, the murder, everything. He makes a show of claiming to be scared of his accomplice and says that he feels ashamed that he didn't do more to help Cindy. If he could turn back time, he says he would have tried to find a better way to assist and maybe even save the helpless victim.
Right.
West Sherman time?
Yes.
You're scared of West Sherman time, but he's your friend.
Like I said, we friendship all the time. That's why I
Wait,
got
I deleted
scared.
the closed mouth? Fuck.
Just so that's the way he is, the way he turned, he ain't exciting person no more. That was my friend.
Are you scared because he's unpredictable?
Yes, sir.
What else were you scared of?
Main thing.
What was the other one?
I was more ashamed and scared the other way.
Ashamed of what?
Being scared of him.
Shame.
I think
That
at one
real
time you had
shame.
mentioned
No,
being
you
ashamed
didn't.
of-
No, you didn't.
what, Lauren?
Perfect.
I mean, don't do that. They don't say.
Do nothing for what?
You saying?
To be able to stop it?
Yeah.
If you had to do it all over again, would you stop it?
I'm trying to figure out a better way. But try it.
The officers warn Lauren that Wes had already made incriminating statements, confessing that the duo in question had already hunted everything, including the ultimate game.
Wes is making comments about
Yeah.
things such as, Lauren and I have hunted just about everything, including the ultimate game.
Bruh?
You know what that ultimate game is.
There is no ultimate game for him.
He's implicating you.
Okay.
What I foresee here is that when we haul Wes in here, he's going to pin it.
Perfect. But this one was
It is
shameful,
clear
right?
to see the trust and loyalty Lauren once had for Wes was dissipating as the interrogators carefully selected their words to drive a wedge between the friends.
Oh,
And just as
shit.
planned, Lauren would go on to reveal a slew of crimes he said Wesley had committed outside of the Cindy case. Lauren
Bruh.
first explained that the previously unsolved death of a hunter from Utah in 1994 had been Wesley's doing. According to Lauren's tale, Wesley had deliberately shot the man dead for no apparent reason after crossing paths with him. Lauren continued to spout his surprising confessions. He reported that Wesley was behind the murder of a man named Henry Howell, who had been discovered in his parked car on the side of a highway with his head and mouth grotesquely bashed in. As Lauren tells it, Wesley jumped at the opportunity after seeing the vulnerable man pulled over and immediately stopped the car to seize the victim's shotgun and use the weapon to end Howell's life before robbing him.
Damn.
It was only a matter of time before Wesley himself was brought in for questioning.
Backstabber much.
In the disturbing interrogation footage, he's asked what he thinks the chances are that the blood discovered in his car belonged to Cindy. He deflects the question.
You tell me, what are the possibilities of Cindy's blood being in your trunk?
I don't know that it is Cindy's blood.
We're telling you, it's 169 million to 1.
And I don't know how it got in there.
He then makes a weird, non-committal statement, saying that he would have already been long gone if he had been up to no good with Cindy. His whole attitude towards the situation is clearly not that of a concerned friend who is worried about Cindy's well-being.
If I had something to do with
I think I do
Cindy's
need to
disappearance,
get rid of
I
the
would've
eye
been gone a
whites
long
and put them
time ago.
behind.
Are you afraid of
I
anybody
think
out
that's what
there,
I'm
somebody
gonna do.
threatening you?
No.
I'm thinking
The
about
annoyance is evident in his facial expressions
do.
and tone of voice as he recounts the night at the karaoke bar with Lauren. He says they talked with Cindy, but
Because
left
then
the
I need to
bar
put
when
the
it shut
eyes
down for
here.
the night.
underneath the
He's
eyelashes.
asked what he thinks about
but
the
over the
possibility
eyelids.
of Lauren's involvement in the case.
Lauren might be responsible for Cindy's blood in your trunk?
I didn't
Even
say that.
Vicky.
Okay.
We maybe do this, but I ain't going to prison with you, bruh.
I thought that's where you were going.
I can't blame no one because I don't know.
Damn.
Is there somebody else involved? That night?
Is there a way I can
The
clip
fact
this
is,
only to the eye white layer?
I
That's
wish
what
I'd
I'd
never
be
stopped that bar that
wondering.
night.
I'll look
You're
that
not
up.
the only one. So do we. We'll be here right now. I'm sure. Cindy did. Everybody else.
The scenario is this. Cindy's blood is in the back of your car. No question about it. It's proven scientifically.
The interrogator
Oh.
becomes increasingly frustrated as Wesley visibly shuts down and refuses to reveal any helpful information.
Bruh.
They try to make him understand the benefits of coming clean, but
There
he's
are
just
no
not having
benefits.
it.
Lauren is responsible, and you're just trying to help your childhood buddy, trying to protect him. If that's what you're doing, and if you want to go down the boat.
I'm not trying to help him.
This is so funny.
Has he threatened you in the past?
Look at that. That's really funny.
No.
I don't
Has
want
he
to do
threatened
that.
you?
Yeah, he's pulled a gun on me before too.
If there's something that happened that night, you have to tell us now. It's as simple as
Angry.
that. We can't make it any simpler for you. If you lied in the past, I don't care about the
I also
lies.
want, like,
I
a
want
yelling
the
mouth.
truth of what happened that night. There's blood in your car. There's a simple explanation. He knows it. I know it. It's there. Take the opportunity.
I'm gonna go to prison.
I'm gonna go to prison.
Okay.
But it wasn't long before Wesley began to shift the blame completely onto his accomplice, as Lauren
Bruh.
had done to him. Their hesitation and unwillingness to speak in initial interviews completely vanished, and the duo continued to turn on one another as the investigation continued.
Damn,
At
no
one
love.
time, the two lifelong friends had been roommates who enjoyed each other's company in a small apartment. Now, watching the interviews, you cannot tell that the two had ever felt anything resembling trust or friendship in one another.
Nope.
They became something more like archenemies, taking
Bruh.
every opportunity they could to blame their partner
OMG,
and
they were
pin all
roommates.
their horrible deeds on the other person. Both were charged with Cindy's murder, along with two others from the 80s. At this point, all inhibition on Lauren's part was gone, and he went into excruciating details
Whoa.
to explain the horrors that Wesley had
Whoa.
inflicted upon Cindy.
Oh, wait.
According to him, Wesley drove the trio to an isolated spot after
that
they had
makes
all
sense.
smoked meth together in the cemetery, and
They're all
he
meth
proceeded
heads,
to
bruh.
assault the unsuspecting young woman before taking a knife to her throat. Apparently,
Why is it-
they had all agreed to meet up that night for drugs, but Cindy had no idea the dangerous situation she was condemning herself to when she agreed to get into Wesley's car. Lauren confessed that Cindy had begged him to help her throughout the assault, calling him Slim, an old nickname she had given him. But rather than try to assist the desperate girl in any way, he chose to remain unresponsive, watching from the car as Wesley committed atrocious crimes against Cindy and then ended her life. After their 1999 arrest, the Speed Freak killers faced their trials in 2001. Wesley went first, and after an unsuccessful attempt to deny his involvement and place all the blame onto Lauren, he was found guilty of murder on 4 accounts. But even in this hopeless situation, Wesley still managed to maintain his arrogant and sinister disposition,
so funny.
refusing to reveal the location of his victims' bodies unless he was rewarded with the advertised $20,000 prize money. This request was unsurprisingly denied. At first, we wondered what use Wesley would even have for that sum of money in jail, but apparently his plan was to pass it down to his sons. Regardless, his sick little scheme didn't work out, and he even denied an opportunity to avoid the death penalty in exchange for the body location information. He really was stubborn through and through, even in the face of certain death. Lauren was given a bit more of a lenient sentence. It seems that the court viewed him as the accomplice to Wesley's criminal masterminding. He was sentenced to 78 years in prison. But even though the law may have taken a little pity on Wesley's partner, they made a decision that is almost incomprehensible in its foolishness. Following an appeal in 2004, Lauren's convictions were overruled. The argument was made that he had been coerced into revealing implicating information against his will, and that he had not received proper and fair treatment during the interrogation process. He was paroled in 2010, but due to an uproar of public disapproval over the court's decision to free Lauren, especially from the victim's family members, no California county wanted to take him. In response, Lauren was made to live in a trailer near the prison. This living arrangement sought to please the concerned public, who, for good reason, didn't want the convicted killer roaming free. But his carefree life of liberty didn't last for long. The Speed Freak killers had long since dropped any illusions of support or camaraderie between them, and Wesley was not happy to hear how easy his partner had gotten out of his sentence when he himself was landed the death penalty. In the true fashion of a vindictive soul seeking revenge at any cost, Wesley decided to take an eye for an eye and reveal all to authorities. This meant he promised to create detailed maps to lead law enforcement straight to where the bodies were buried.
Nice.
A move that spelled disaster for Lauren, who was just beginning to feel like he had gotten away with his crimes scotch-free. Lauren had always maintained his own innocence and pushed all the responsibility onto Wesley. But clearly, he had an inkling that whatever was to be found along with the bodies would prove disastrous for him. Immediately after it was announced that a bounty hunter by the name of Leonard Padilla had bribed Wesley into releasing the secret locations and information about the victims' bodies in exchange for a payment of over $30,000, Lauren was found dead in his trailer. It was January of 2012, and he had taken his own life by hanging himself.
Wow.
A ghastly scene reported to the police by an anonymous caller. And this unceremonious death brings us to our interview with the one woman who may have managed to escape the deadly clutches of the Speed Freak killers. As per her wishes, we will be keeping her name and identity anonymous.
I think this would
We
look
want first to emphasize that, as she herself acknowledges, there is no way to be sure if the men she crossed paths with were in fact the Speed Freak killers, or just another pair of sketchy guys with an uncanny resemblance to the famous duo. However, the time and place she described line up almost too perfectly with the Speed Freak killers' recorded active period. although it's almost impossible to confirm her story with complete certainty. If it was actually the two serial killers she came across that night, then that would make her the one and only woman ever to escape the deadly duo. With the devastation that the two men left in their wake, she's glad to have not stuck around to confirm their identities that night. She shared with us her reason for coming forward so long after the alarming night in 1998.
The thing is that I know a lot of people wonder why, why I never said it before, but during the time I was trying to piece everything together and things kind of started making sense as I went,
Regardless, we are so glad that she finally felt brave enough to come forward and share her story for the first time
so that we can
ever
make
with
money.
us.
I mean, so that she can
She had
feel.
a very thoroughly written timeline of events prepared to explain what happened that night.
It was just, it happened in 1998, and I had went with one of my girlfriends to Delta College, San Joaquin Delta College, to apply, for school.
Make a little sad mouth.
Dropped her off at home probably around, it was close to 9 o'clock, p.m., and I had recently, I joined a gym, and so I forgot I had to, make a payment, so I was, oh man, I need to deposit some money, towards my membership. So the bank is right across the street from where my girlfriend lived at, and it's B of A, Bank of America. It's on 700 Kettleman Lane, West Kettleman Lane. And so anyhow, I was there.
I'm not gonna have the presence of mind to switch through these very much. I want to make a sad mouth.
Back in
Angry sad.
You had to get out to get the
happy
envelope,
angry sad.
the envelopes, to make a deposit. So that's what I did. I got out, got my envelope, sat back in the car, and then my instinct told me to lock my doors because I had a Monte Carlo 2-door back in the day, and then I locked my doors, and then I want to say as I'm writing my my
look how sad that face looks.
I want to say maybe 5-10 minutes after that, here comes a car screeching in the parking lot. And that alerted me, and I looked up, and to my right-hand side, which would have been my passenger side, I saw this car. It was not a van. It wasn't a truck. It wasn't, it was just a car, a small-sized car, and I don't remember the exact car that it was, but I just remember it parking right next to me.
Isn't it so sad?
On
Look
my
at his
passenger
face.
side. And I was already scared because I heard the screeching as it parked next to me. And so I quickly turned on my car, and it happened so fast. I turned on my car, and as I was reversing my car, I just remember looking to my right-hand side, and I saw this white male with a long ponytail braided, and I just remember his face. It just looked very scary. And as I look at the pictures of Lauren Herzog, it was his face. I just picture, I just see that face, the same face, and it was so coincidental because of the fact that it was two males. So there was a passenger male with dark hair. I just remember that I didn't see his face. I only saw the white male with the blonde hair, and I remember him being tall, because I looked up, but I got out of there so quick that I put it on reverse, and I saw that really quick, and then I just hit it on drive and took off. And of course, I was super distraught. I was scared because I was thinking it was just an attempted robbery or something.
So funny.
At the moment, I'm like, oh my God, they were trying to steal, rob me or whatever. And so I just wanted to get somewhere safe, and then drove home. My mom was like, "What's wrong?"
Would you say no?
And I was like, I don't know, Mom.
Would you say no to this face?
And my mom's like, I told you, don't go to the bank late at night. So, because it was after 9, a little bit after 9 when I went, and so thank God I made it safe. I made it out of that situation.
No,
she had luckily managed to get out of the close scrape without a hitch.
No, you wouldn't.
But as the weeks and months went on, her strange experience in the parking lot would continue to weigh on her mind. And the more she thought about it, the more certain she grew that the two men she had seen that night were, in fact, the speed freak killers in the flesh. This realization was catalyzed by the widespread coverage that Cindy Vanderheiden's case was receiving in late 1998.
Around November, December, when Cindy Vanderheiden became missing, is when I started seeing I just saw a lot of like posters everywhere of her face, and she was missing, and I was like, I wonder who, this must be a local girl or what. And it didn't really make sense even then, I couldn't connect the dots then. But
I like this. The box mouth shape,
happened.
That
and
works
then
better.
When Shermantine, Wesley Shermantine started speaking up about all the, like where the bodies were buried, things like that, I was like, you know what? I bet you anything. And I just started kind of following the story, and I was like, I don't know why I just have that feeling that those are the two men that approached me that night. It just started making, everything was so coincidental. The height, and then they mentioned his height, which was Lauren Herzog. He was 6 foot something. The height, just the two men, and then when there was a particular interview that happened between Wesley Shermantine, that he mentioned, and I was trying to look for the video because I wanted to piece it together before I even spoke to you guys, because I saw it somewhere. I just don't know exactly what video it was, but it was an interview where he said, there was only one woman that got away. And he mentioned it was at a gas station, but when you're high on drugs, I mean, you can't really recall where. I'm assuming that that's the situation. But anyhow, there are a lot of gas stations in that area. They might have gone to a gas station before they even approached me. Do I know for sure that it was them that approached me? No, it's not for sure. But when you look at the timeline, the dates, I live in Lodi. So Lodi's not too far from Linden and Clements area. So it's everything's just so coincidental that I was like, I don't know. I just have a feeling that those two monsters, I call monsters because they were the ones that approached me. I just got away. And then when he mentioned that part, I was like, wow, this is just too close,
She described how she was encouraged by her brother to tell the story of what happened that night. Initially, she had been hesitant, as she knew people would be skeptical if she claimed she had come face to face with the speed freak killers without any proof.
That's so funny.
But all the same, she knew there was a more important reason why she had to share her story.
And so my brother was encouraging me. He goes, sis, you should talk about that. You should, and I'm doing it more as an awareness because I did put myself in an unsafe situation, being a young lady. And I would like to, just put out there as an awareness to others, like women, just to be careful, to look, make sure they look around, their surroundings, things like that, because, I wouldn't be here talking about this right now if I wouldn't have taken off, because these people were very brutal. They were murderers,
We discussed how lucky it was that she had immediately locked her car doors when she sensed something sinister. You would expect kidnappers to creep up slowly and stealthily on their victims so as not to alert the person they were after. But in this case, the woman was grateful that she didn't wait to scope out the situation. She locked the door, turned on the car engine, and began to reverse almost immediately.
That's what saved my life, to be honest with you, is the fact that I heard the screeching as they were it's like what it is they wanted, whatever they were trying to do, they wanted to do it really quick. You know what I mean? And it was just, because as soon as I heard the screeching, I'm like, okay, who's screeching in here? Because if you look at the parking lot there at Bank of America, it's a pretty closed-in parking lot. It's not a very it's not too of an open space.
Definitely.
You have to actually drive in there, right? And
locking your door should be like a snap decision. Whenever I get in my car, I lock my door. So that's the first thing I do.
To look up and be like, oh, whoa, this doesn't look good. And that was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, this doesn't look good. It's that kind of like that flight or fight kind of, situation. I immediately, when I saw that, I immediately locked my doors, and I locked my doors previous to that. I'm sorry. I started my car, and then I mean, because they drove up.
It sounds
quick,
like she's telling
you know?
the truth.
And I already
I
had
mean,
my
you
doors
never
locked,
know if
but my
someone's
car
really telling the
started
truth,
right away,
but
thank goodness.
this
That's what
sounds
my
like
mom
she's
told me. She goes,
recalling
"You know
these
what? I'm
details,
so
not making them
thankful
up
that
as
the car started
she's
up right away when
going.
it did, because we always had a hard time starting up the car, you know." So yeah, I was able to get away from them, and I mean, if it was them, I'm assuming that it was them, just based on the timeline and everything. It's just so coincidental, you know. You know, at the time when it happened, I was thinking, I mean, not that it's a minor thing, but I was just kind of thinking it was just an attempted robbery, I'm sure, something stupid like that. But I didn't, you know, I wish I would have reported. I didn't because I was so terrified. I was just like, you know, and I was young too. You know, when you're young, you just kind of, it's just somebody being stupid. But then as time went by, I was like, wow,
no, they were gonna fucking kill you,
the
girl.
ones that approached me, you know, and thank goodness I'm here to, you know, just tell that bit of a story, you know.
The fact that she may never know the true intentions of the menacing men that night is haunting. And after reading the horrible things that Wesley and Lauren had done to their victims,
I don't like that.
She's beyond grateful that she thought fast that night.
I mean, just following the stories, you know, I don't know. I just, and that's what I was afraid of too. As I was taking off,
you know,
like, are these guys gonna follow me?
I
You know,
do that though whenever I feel like someone
I just
doesn't
remember
like
seeing,
believe me when I'm telling a story
you know,
that
when
I'm
I see
telling the
pictures of
truth on.
Lauren
I'm like,
Herzog,
do
I
you
just remember
understand what
seeing
I'm
that
saying?
face.
Like,
And I remember
do
it just
you
scared
understand
me, you know,
that?
I remember
what I'm trying to communicate.
And he was the first one out of the car.
It definitely is for me, but it could
get out to,
could be lied.
You know, either open up my car door. I don't know, but I wasn't gonna hang out to see what was gonna happen next.
All right.
We thanked her for being gracious enough to share her chilling encounter with us, and asked how this experience had affected the rest of her life.
Smile.
I don't go to the banks at night anymore.
No, don't go to the bank at night.
And I still live in Lodi, so every time I drive by that area, it always, of course, brings back those memories of like that moment that happened to me. And you know, I mean, I've shared it with my younger sisters, and just, you know, my own daughter, you know, hey, whatever you do, be careful, be aware of your surroundings.
I like this.
That kind of thing,
good.
because I don't want what happened to me to happen to anybody else. You know, because like I said,
so
that
this
could have
is
been
the
a
interesting
very,
part. This is how
situation. It could have been
everything
bad.
is
You know,
assembled.
I wouldn't be here to tell the story today if I didn't take off when I did. You know, and I'm really grateful, you know, that I'm here because I know there's a lot.
This
of
was a coffee tan
families
sample
that
I
don't have
made.
their
Very
loved ones
simple.
because of these two people, you know, and it's just really, it's a sad situation.
This is
you know,
the
but
original one from V802.
I'm very
As you can
careful
see,
about things
very
now.
simple.
We are so glad that our interviewee escaped the two sketchy men she saw, regardless if they were indeed the elusive speed freak killers, or simply
I was
two
trying to
nameless,
break
faceless
it
men
apart.
looking to cause trouble for a young woman in a dark parking lot.
Oh yeah,
but there is no
this
denying that the speed freak killers had a brand of their own, unmatched in cruelty, vicious acts, and disregard for the sanctity of human life. One conclusion that many investigators and theorists have come to is that the duo seemed to have found a sick satisfaction in the killings. They usually didn't have any clear motive besides just enjoying the gruesome activity of assaulting and murdering innocent people. A pattern seems to be evident in their exploits involving female victims. The two appeared to lure their victims in with the promise of drugs, and once the girls were alone with them, sometimes having willingly entered their vehicle, finishing the task was easy for the heartless pair. But young girls weren't the only target demographic of the speed freak killers. Wesley, or maybe both he and Lauren, most likely killed for sport, picking a large portion of their victims randomly and acting on rash impulse. The picture authorities often paint of the duo gives Lauren a bit more sympathy than Wesley. Experts have said that in most serial killer duos, the two individuals involved are rarely of equal power within the operation, and to them, it is glaringly obvious that Wesley was the real mastermind behind these deadly crimes,
Who cares?
while Lauren was more of a passive follower. but the
still liked
difference
it.
in blame is minuscule. Both men hold the responsibility for the countless lives lost and families left devastated and confused for years at the disappearances of their loved ones. In the end, Wesley and Lauren were only convicted for a small fraction of the murders they are speculated to have committed. Howard King and Paul Kavanaugh are among the known victims of the duo, both having been shot in their vehicles in 1984. As recently as March 2020, gruesome discoveries of remains have been made that are believed to be tied to the Speed Freak killers. A bone was found in a San Joaquin County well by a local farmer, which is eerily similar to human remains that were discovered a few years earlier and linked to the Speed Freak killer case. Sheriff Withrow was reported as saying, "This is somebody's resting place right now, and this is somebody's loved one, and we're going to recover this in a legal manner, in an investigative manner." For now, the remains are still under investigation. In a news article, Ross Purviance, a Linden High School graduate, commented, "I used to live in the area where these swipes ran around. I kicked them off the ranch several times. They know where all the deep open wells are out there. I've offered to come down at my own expenses to show sheriffs where these possible sites are. I have worked on all the windmills out there. That's what I did for a living." No response. The real number of total victims who lost their lives at the hands of the Speed Freak killers may never be known. Wesley, as the only surviving witness to the horrific crimes, may have even lost count himself. But their story and the daunting tale our interviewee shared both speak volumes about the importance of always remaining aware and cognizant of one's surroundings. There are sick people like Wesley and Lauren out in the world who wish to take advantage of others for their own twisted pleasure. It is always best to be safe rather than sorry, and to avoid situations and individuals that could have dark motives.
Okay, well,
If you ever feel like
how much do you need to stretch this video out? Like, come on, we get it. Let's see. Ba 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 ba. What should we watch next? Alfred. Ooh. Beside the Dying Fire. Do you guys like that guy? I love that guy. He just uploaded this 3 hours ago. Okay. Hell yeah. His daughter discovered his evil secret. There we go.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Ed Edwards.
Number two.
My name is Ed Edwards.
Number three.
My name is Ed Edwards.
And here is the extraordinary story of Ed Edwards. I think you'll find it profitable. It says, I, Ed Edwards, was once on the FBI's list of the 10 most wanted criminals in America. Now I am a respected citizen in my community.
Damn.
Here's the story of my dramatic turnabout. As a young boy, I felt that the only way I could gain any recognition was to steal. Eventually, I committed armed robberies, impersonated a federal officer, and was sought for questioning about a double murder.
Damn.
I spent time in the federal penitentiaries in Leavenworth and Lewisburg. It was at the latter prison that I started vocational training and very slowly began to realize that I could still be somebody and return to my rightful and legal place in society.
Okay.
This is a clip from the American television competition panel show To Tell the Truth, which began in 1956. There have been tweaks and adjustments to the show over its runtime, but the basic premise is this. There are 3 challengers that are introduced, each one claiming to be a certain individual, but only one of them truly is. Then, information about this certain individual or character is read to the panelists. The panelists then ask the 3 challengers various questions about the person they're claiming to be to determine which one actually is that person. This is followed by a vote to determine who they think is telling the truth. This specific clip, which I just showed you, features a man by the name of Ed Edwards. And as you heard, Ed has quite the resume. Reformed criminal, previously on the FBI's most wanted list, who turned his whole life around and wanted to become an author and motivational speaker. Already a pretty crazy story by many metrics.
Among Us?
But that wasn't the full story. The full story behind Ed Edwards is much darker and much more sinister.
Oh my god.
On each end, the votes are all in. Will the real Ed Edwards please stand up?
Is this nigga? There he is. Save as closed eyes. Save as left eyebrow. Yes, you have to do all of this. Save as right eyebrow. It's like cutting out pieces of a paper puppet. You have to make all of it. Braids.
It goes without saying that at the point that Ed Edwards appeared on To Tell the Truth, he had already had quite the background. In 1955, he escaped from a jail in Akron and drifted around robbing gas stations. He made no attempt to hide his identity during this time because he, quote, wanted to be famous. After committing various crimes of this nature, in 1961, 6 years later, he found himself on the FBI's most
This
wanted
should be
list
enough.
after he escaped from another jail,
But
this time in
sometimes it
Portland,
isn't.
Oregon, after
And we'll
impersonating
see.
a federal officer. 1 year later,
Alright,
he was
guys, you're gonna
apprehended
see
and
some funny
incarcerated
stuff
in
here.
the United States Penitentiary in Leavenworth. It was here in Leavenworth that Edwards met a guard who claims helped him reform
let me
his whole
turn off
mindset and turn
my
him into
real
a better person.
VTuber.
He was paroled in 1967, and after that he got married, had a daughter, and became a motivational speaker. This occupation as a motivational speaker led to him appearing on various television shows, one of them, the competition show To Tell the Truth. This is the back of the book summary of Ed Edwards. However, it doesn't even scratch the surface of who Ed Wayne Edwards
I have to go to the
truly was.
PNG-TUBER
Because
Plus
for
files.
one person, the stories about Ed Edwards just didn't sit right. For one person, the Ed Edwards they knew was capable of much more heinous crimes than what was being presented on stage and on television. And that person was Ed's own daughter, April.
I had been to 16 different schools throughout from starting kindergarten through my senior year. So I truly believe almost every place that we lived, my dad killed someone.
What?
Because every place we lived, we talked about someone being killed.
In addition to all the other crimes that he committed, Ed Edwards was a serial killer. And when all the information would finally come out, Edwards had quite the long list of victims. In 1977, Edwards shot a couple, William Lavico, 21 years old, and Judith Straub, 18 years old, at point-blank range in a parking lot. In 1980, Edwards stabbed and strangled another 19-year-old couple, Tim Hack and Kelly Drew, although he was actually questioned in regards to these murders, known at the time as the Sweetheart Murders. They didn't have anything substantial linking him to the killing. In 1996, Edwards killed his own foster son, 25-year-old Danny Boy Edwards, in order to collect insurance money. He persuaded his foster son to go AWOL from the army, took him into the woods near their home, and shot him twice in the face. If Edwards' seeming MO of killing couples seems somewhat familiar to another set of crimes that occurred around the same time, don't worry, we'll get to that. But first, how was it that Edwards got caught? His own daughter aided police in bringing him to justice. In the spring of 2009, after being married and having a family of her own, April started to reflect on some of her father's odd behavior all throughout her childhood. His bursts of anger, the frequency at which they would move, sometimes in the middle of the night, her father's obsession with collecting news clippings about local murders. All the pieces seemed to point to one conclusion. She just needed to dig to find some clear evidence. Slowly, she started searching unsolved homicides in the cities they lived. And when she stumbled upon an article describing the Sweetheart Murders of Tim Hack and Kelly Drew, April knew instantly her father was involved. It was at this moment that she remembered that her father worked as a handyman at the Concord House. which was a wedding reception hall, which was the last known spot that Tim and Kelly were seen before they were brutally murdered. This triggered April to contact authorities and tip them off that her father was the one responsible for the Sweetheart murders. And a few weeks later, after some DNA testing, they confirmed Ed Edwards was the killer. And once he was arrested in 2009, he would admit to 3 other murders.
Damn, bruh.
Foster parents.
You just be murdering people. What the hell?
And he was 21 when he graduated from high school, and he went to school with my kids. He got, the people there got divorced. And
okay.
So he ended up living with one of the kids that he used to be there, and
so we have to delete all
of this. That kid brought him to me one day. He said, I'm going to put him out on the streets in Chardon if you don't want him. He said, because we don't want him. So we took him in and let him live there. And then it was after I started plotting down the road to kill him for the insurance purposes and everything that we had his name changed to Danny Boy Edwards and that, but he was not a foster son. He was not an adopted son. He was someone that we had taken in. With Danny, I saw an opportunity to...
Hold again.
I mean, I was always a schemer. I was always thinking of ways of making money. I've always been into crime.
Okay.
And...
perfect.
With Danny, I saw an opportunity here at long range. It took about a year to set it up. And that's what I did.
IRL purple guy.
Collect the money and ended up getting $250,000 out of it, and it was arranged, it was premeditated, it was thought out, it was planned, and that's what I did. He went AWOL. I sent him the money. He got the money, he got a Greyhound. He went AWOL and went to Columbus, the bus station in Columbus.
Eyelashes.
That's where I went. That's where I picked him up at. There's a bus station in Columbus. He didn't come here. Then I brought him back to the house. And he stayed at our house unbeknown to my wife.
Left ear.
He was out in the barn. He was
it looks
car,
weird. I know, it'll look weird.
He was in the house. And it was all set up.
Right ear.
I'd already had
right eyebrow.
Prior to him going into the military, he took out a $50,000 insurance policy. Named us beneficiary.
Smile close.
And then while in the military...
Did you ask him to do that? Or he did it voluntarily?
No, I asked him to, but...
There is a way to organize this, I forget.
Part of my plan, yes, that started back prior to him going into the military.
You have to link different things.
Then the name change was not effective, was not all the way through yet.
It was like Q and W,
once
right?
Once he went into the military. When he went into the military, he was Danny Glockner. It was while he was in basic training that the name change went through to Danny Boy Edwards. So.
Hold on. Bro does not care. He talks about it so casually there. He's just chill. How to organize layers. Beginner setup. Okay. TikTok? I don't know if I want to do that. Alright, how about this? Let's just go here.
Hey, I'm Sue. Welcome to PNG-TUBER Plus 101. This is a comprehensive beginner's guide.
Okay.
Time lapse is just
no,
on the bottom right, there's a guide for hotkeys for navigating and adjusting sprites.
Bruh. I totally just forgot that's... Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, I do this all the time, guys. I'm brilliant.
And change his name on the records.
Oh, to me move sprite.
The insurance policy. Because the insurance policy had been made out to people that he used to live with that already separated and everything. And matter of fact, one of them was dead.
Okay.
And so he went down and changed his policy over and named my wife and I the beneficiaries.
0.
And he was going to get a medical discharge.
Seems like a 9, right?
9. From the Army because he couldn't handle it. But it was about 3 days prior to that. That's when I talked him into going AWOL because they said he was going to Korea. and he didn't want to go to
I have to
Korea.
fix this?
So I talked him into going to Iran, or told him to. He did what I told him.
No, I'm not.
And we went to Columbus. I picked him up in Columbus, brought him back
Reload.
here. And then that was part of the scheme that I put together, and it was, okay, I'm talking to him as to we're going to make a phone call.
Okay.
That he burglarized the house and stole money and different things like that.
Perfect.
And so then when he had it memorized,
All right,
I took
there we
him down
go.
to Ladue and dropped him off, telephone. I went back home and he called me. It was being recorded. Hi, Pops, how are you? And we talked, and I'm sorry I burglarized the house and things like that. I said, well, I didn't know you were even in here, Danny. And yeah, and so we went all through that. And then he gives the money to another person. And
God,
so
this
then
is the worst part.
it ended, so I went back and picked him up and brought him back to the house. And it was the next night, I think it was the next night, that he ended up losing his life up behind the cemetery, because I told him that there was a fellow in Youngstown that was going to come by,
Is
pick
this
him
it?
up and hide him out for a couple months, and then he would be clear. He wouldn't
Yeah,
have to
this
worry
is
about
just the
anything.
plain.
He believed all this. And it was
It's been a
up
while
there
since
that
I've
where he
fucking done
died.
this. God, I
And,
hate this.
had
This is the
body
worst
partially
part.
covered.
Now, there isn't going to be much pausing and commentary added to these clips because they are fairly straightforward. But let's just take a moment to point out a few things. Number one, the very casual nature with which Edwards discusses the plotting and murder of his foster son. He speaks about this as casually as one would speak about doing a project around the house. This is eerily reminiscent of many serial killer confessions. Calm, matter-of-fact, collected. Killers such as Dennis Rader and Ted Bundy are perfect examples of this.
Oh, I want the clover to
Once you
be...
become addicted to it, and I look at this as a kind of addiction. Like other kinds of addiction, I would keep looking for more potent, more explicit, more graphic kinds of material. Like an addiction, you keep craving something which is harder, something which gives you a greater sense of excitement, until you reach the point where the pornography only goes so far. You reach
Forget what
that
these
jumping
numbers
off
do.
point where you begin to wonder if maybe actually doing it will give you
I want this to
that
bounce.
which is beyond just reading about it or looking at it.
Bounce.
What I call a haunt.
Bounce.
As I call it. I have special appeal to it. I've been there. I started knowing the roads. I knew people. I drive
No,
by, watch
wait,
cars.
don't do it
people
like
pull out
that.
their homes, and people go. Wrote telephone numbers down. Wrote addresses down.
It's so
This is
funny.
how it really started, right here.
Can you
My
just do
haunts.
like
That
this?
area, the Edgemore area, was my first big haunt.
The other interesting thing to point out here is that how, despite him being arrested and in the midst of a confession to all of these crimes,
Kinda
it's clear
cool,
he's
I
still
guess.
trying to mentally disassociate from what he did. You'll notice that up to this point, he rarely
Wait.
speaks of murder in the first person.
I
and
shouldn't
rarely
have
attributes
put
it to
that in
himself at
there.
all. He has no problem talking about how he was
I
the
need to
one
only
who planned
do
and plotted.
the
He was the one
open
who contacted
the
Danny.
open mouth
When it
one.
comes time to talk about the actual murder, he says phrases like, "That's where he lost his life," or "That's where he died," still attempting to psychologically distance himself from the act.
And kept it that way. I went back up there about every 3 or 4
And there's
months
a way to
check.
set it
'Cause I wanted the
to
body found, but not immediately, but I didn't want to bury it
like those are
either.
the eyes.
So I left
That
it partially
is the
covered. And the one time it was
You
about
know,
a year later
different
when I
shit.
went up to check on it, the head had been
Finished
separated
costume
from the
layer.
body through the animals and everything. And I took it with me.
So what
And took it
is
across the
costume
street, threw it
layer?
up into the field, and the police and
Why do
everything,
people
they've been
do
looking for it,
costume
they
layer? I don't even
can't
remember
find
that.
It was nothing but the skull. They've been unable to find it. But
Oh, the braids
there was
need
a hunter
to.
that
There we go.
found Danny, and
then
the
the
rest of the story,
clothes need to
everybody
be there.
knows it.
And the body.
Where he was found and why.
Where's the
That was
body?
Set up. And after he was found,
There you go.
it was,
This is very plain.
I'm
Where
not sure,
was the
maybe
thing where I
a year
could-
later, maybe not as much as a year, that I
Sprite frames.
collected $250,000
Whoa!
on the
How'd you read my show?
from the
Here, let me
the
save this
investigation.
as
But the
new.
attorney representing me, and he got a third
Wait,
of
no,
this,
fuck.
so the rest of it we got. And my wife,
Fuck.
she was not aware of any of this.
Where's the
I
default
endorsed
one?
all the paperwork and forged her name, and she knew.
I would like the
absolutely
default
nothing.
avatar
She's
so I can take a look at
very
it.
Christian-like woman.
Yeah, there was a way.
Where did the
Right
original-
there.
You said it was original.
That's
was a
the
$50,000
thing.
policy.
Okay.
Where did the other $200,000? Did he take out an additional policy?
No, when you go in the military, you can have
Where'd it go?
different
Did I put it in
amounts.
here? Oh, new.
They get
All right.
you, and it comes out of your pay, and he was covered with $200,000 military.
Let's
No.
go back to this 1977.
Ugh. This
You
is
killed-
boring. I'm sorry. It's just mostly just him talking about killing people. And it's making me very sad. Let's see. Bam, 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 Oh, I wanted to know what this is. 100-Pound Sisters, Amy Slayton, star ratted out by camel while living high life. What the fuck does that mean? I wanted to find that out, so let me just play that right now and figure the fuck out.
Today's question is, can I analyze the case of Amy Slayton?
No, you may not.
Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of this case.
Wait.
Move to the timeline of the crime. Then offer my analysis.
Eyelashes?
Amy Slayton was born on October 28, 1987, and lived in Dixon, Kentucky.
It's closed
This
eyes.
small town is about 2.5 hours west of Louisville. She was raised by her parents, Frank and Darlene. Amy has 4 siblings, including an older sister named Tammy. Both Amy and Tammy were unable or unwilling to regulate their consumption of food. This appeared to be a struggle for some of their other family members as well. Amy and Tammy both started their own YouTube channels featuring stories, makeup tutorials, and various challenges.
Kind of?
Eventually, Amy's channel exceeded
that's how it
500,000
is.
subscribers.
Usually.
And Tammy's channel exceeded 150,000 subscribers. In 2017, Amy eloped with a man named Michael Halterman.
There we
In
go.
2019,
all
they
right,
had a
yeah, that's
second
the
wedding.
basic.
By this time, the network
Open mouth should be
TLC
moved
was filming the
up
lives
here.
of Amy and Tammy for a
Perfect.
reality television show
Wow,
called
wow, wow.
1,000-Pound Sisters.
Yep, that works.
The first episode was released in January 2020.
And I can
The title of the
make
show came
things
from
more
the combined
bouncy
weight
overall.
of the sisters.
Right now, I'm not going to do
Amy
that.
weighed over 400 pounds at this time. Tammy weighed over 6.
Here, how do I work with costume layers in PNG-TUBER? Let me look that up. How to do costume layers in PNG-TUBER Plus. Those are your costume slots. Okay. Oh, okay. I get it. So then I make this part of costume slot 1. Costume slot 1. What? Oh. Wait. Open mouth? Okay. Oh, so it's saying, what do you not want to be visible? Okay. Yeah, these, I don't want to be visible for costume slot 2. Costume slot 1, yes. But costume slot 2, no. Add new sprite, angry open, angry closed. Alright. No, it's not blinking. That's closed. You can't see that. You can only see that in this one. Angry open mouth. That's not in that one. Oh, okay. So then, number 2, number 1, number 2, number 1, number 2. That's fun. That's weird. Okay. Wah! Bitch! That works. That works. Alright, there you go. Okay, and then you also don't want them to be visible in 3, 4, 5. Only visible in that one. Only visible in that one. And then, let's go back to costume slot 1. I want that to only be visible in that slot. So then you get rid of all those. And then number 3, you don't see any of these. That makes sense. Okay, yeah. Angry. Sad. Sad closed mouth. Sad open mouth. Wait, okay, so angry is 2, and sad would be 3. Yep. Open mouth, 3. There you go. This is open. This is closed. Oh, but why? But why? Can you make it so that, or do I have to change out the sprite entirely? Most likely, huh? Okay. Eyes. I want them to move around. They need to move around. Bruh! No! Look at that, that's funny, no. That's really funny, I love that. That's hilarious, holy shit. So then there's some movement in the eye. Okay, that works. But what about the eyebrows? Can I move? So for eyebrows, can you change eyebrow position in costume layers? PNG-TUBER Plus. Okay, and let me play this. Let me keep playing this.
600 pounds. In my opinion, half-ton sisters would have been a much better show title than 1,000-pound sisters. This better fits with the theme that the idea for the show itself is half-baked.
Half-baked.
It's like whoever was in charge of show titles at TLC was dead weight.
You're dead weight.
Despite the less than stellar title, the show 1,000-Pound Sisters crushed the competition under the weight of its success.
What?
At the time I'm making this video, it has continued for 5 agonizing seasons. In the first season, the sisters both lived in the same house,
This is also
along with Amy's husband, Michael.
You can kind of see some of my eyes glistening,
which included the prospect of undergoing bariatric surgery. There were discussions about extremely serious medical problems, intense family drama, and sometimes unrealistic dreams about the future. At the end of season 1, Amy qualified for the bariatric surgery by losing the required amount of weight, but Tammy did not qualify. Amy had the surgery and started to lose weight. In November 2020, Amy and Michael had a son. Everything seemed to be going well for Amy. Starting a family was one of her dreams. Tammy, on the other hand, was not doing as well. She almost died a couple of times as her weight increased to over 700 pounds by early 2022. In July 2022, Amy and Michael had a second son. Around the same time, Tammy managed to get down to 550 pounds, which was the goal weight to be approved for surgery. She had the surgery and survived. In November 2022, Tammy married a man named Caleb Willingham. However, he died less than a year later on June 30, 2023. On September 20, 2023, Amy and Michael divorced. Michael requested a restraining order to keep Amy 500 feet away from him. Keeping away from Michael did not appear to be difficult for Amy. She quickly found a new lover named Tony.
It's not what I
After
wanted.
they broke up, she found another lover named Kevin. This relationship ended as well. At the end of season 5 of the reality show, Amy was down to 275 pounds, and Tammy was down to 225 pounds. Given this outcome, TLC could have renamed the show 500-Pound Sisters, or, as I would recommend, Quarter-Ton Sisters.
I can't
Now moving to the timeline of the crime. On Monday, September 2, 2024, Amy Slayton was at the Tennessee Safari Park on Conley Road in Alamo, Tennessee. This small town is about 1.5 hours northeast of Memphis.
Boy. This
The
is
Safari
the fun.
Park features a 7.5-mile
This is the fun,
drive-through
everyone.
safari and a 20-acre
PNG-TUBER.
walk-through zoo. According to the website, one of the highlights of any visit should include feeding a
Wait, why is
giraffe
there two
and getting a
bodies?
slobbery kiss from its 1.5-foot tongue. The attraction, of course, contains many other animals which have varying tongue lengths. Many of these creatures appear to be highly interested in motor vehicles, or at least the food possessed by the vehicle's occupants.
Hi.
Most days at the safari park are probably uneventful,
Clothes.
but this one was not.
The body,
Police
right?
officers responded to a call
Okay.
about a guest being bitten by a camel. When the police
No.
arrived, they searched for the combative and cranky camel. However, they found themselves overtaken by a suspicious odor coming from a vehicle occupied by...
Wait. I'm good. But I think I just heard something really troubling. Wait. So she was kissing the camel? She kissed the camel? What was she doing?
She quickly found a new lover named Tony. After they broke up, she found another lover named Kevin. This relationship ended as well. At the end of season 5 of the reality show, Amy was down to 275 pounds, and Tammy was down to 225 pounds. Given this outcome, TLC could have renamed the show 500-Pound Sisters, or, as I would recommend, Quarter-Ton Sisters. Now moving to the timeline of the crime.
I'm working on it
On
right
Monday,
now because I just
September 2,
updated some things
2024,
about it.
Amy Slayton
This
was
is
at
my
the
new
Tennessee Safari
avatar.
Park on Conley Road in Alamo, Tennessee. This small
Go
town
back.
is about
Go back.
1.5 hours northeast of Memphis.
I guess it doesn't want to go
The Safari
back. Well,
Park
okay, I'll
features
just say
a
this is
7.5-mile drive-through safari
And my
a
old one was
20-acre
this.
walk-through zoo.
And she's lovely.
According to the website,
Wait.
one of the highlights
I
of
just
any visit should
realized
include
something.
feeding a giraffe
Instead
and getting
of
a slobbery
remaking it from
kiss
scratch,
from its 1.5-foot tongue.
why don't I just
The attraction,
replace the
of course,
pieces?
contains many other
Ugh.
animals which have varying tongue lengths. Many of
'Cause
these
then I
creatures
don't have to
appear to be
spend
highly
forever
interested
rigging
in
this
motor
again.
vehicles, or at least the food possessed by the vehicle's occupants.
Oh boy,
Most days at the safari
I
park
just
are
saved my
probably
life, didn't I?
uneventful, but this one was not.
But then I still have to
Police
redo the
officers
head
responded to a
one,
call
don't I?
about a guest being bitten by a camel. When the police
Thank
arrived,
you.
they searched for the combative
I
and
did it
cranky
all by
camel.
myself.
However, they found themselves overtaken
It was
by a suspicious odor
an arduous
coming from a
process,
vehicle
yet it was
occupied by
done.
Amy Slayton.
Hold on.
Ultimately,
So,
Amy was arrested
open
and
eye,
charged
that
with
one's
illegal
only
possession
number
of
one
Schedule
now.
1 and Schedule
number
6
1
drugs, as well as 2 counts of child endangerment.
What?
The drugs she allegedly possessed were mushrooms and marijuana. Schedule 1 refers to drugs with a high potential for addiction and no accepted medical use. This includes mushrooms. There is no such thing as Schedule 6 in the federal system. Rather, this is a designation that the state of Tennessee uses. Schedule 6 refers to substances that have a low potential for addiction, like marijuana. A man named Brian Scott Loworn, who was in the vehicle with Amy, was arrested on the same charges. There is no word on whether the police were able to apprehend the camel. There may be no end in sight for the cantankerous camel-crunching nightmare at the safari park. The camel may actually be an important witness.
Oh,
The
I'm
state
not
could offer to
famous,
plea
but I
deal
appreciate
to
it. That's
testify
very
against
sweet of
Amy.
you.
Now moving
Thank
to my
you.
analysis. The television show 1,000-Pound
I just
Sisters
chill.
has received a wide variety of feedback from viewers.
Oh, that's weird.
Some
That's
people
weird
find the
looking.
show to be inspirational and courageous. From their point of view, the show chronicles the journey of two brave women trying to fight their battle with a food addiction. The sisters struggle to interact with the world around them. The show features romantic interactions, grave health concerns, death, and lighthearted moments of comedy. The medical problems are dealt with in a brutal and honest manner, which may be a wake-up call for people struggling with similar difficulties. Other people who watch the show disagree. They do not find it to be appealing and do not see it as having any redeeming value. They believe it is too focused on the dramatic elements and highlights the nonsensical behavior of arrogant and superficial characters who lack insight. One of the major complaints revolves around the idea that the sisters are viewed with a lot more compassion than substance users. For example, the sisters had access to expensive surgeries and other healthcare interventions, whereas people addicted to substances often struggle to access resources. How is a food addiction any better than a drug addiction? The show runs the risk of glamorizing the excessive consumption of food as if it is somehow less dangerous than drug use. After watching a few episodes, I believe that both the show's supporters and detractors have a few good points. The story of the sisters could be thought of as inspirational, but the profound lack of insight is frustrating to watch. One could argue the show accurately captures many aspects of food addiction. Being frustrated is part of the experience of an outside observer.
Sad.
Watching the sisters repeatedly run through the cycle of success and failure can be painful because the same mistakes are being made over and over with little or no recognition of the core problems. People who work with addiction see this every day. This brings me to the arrest of Amy Slayton. It sounds like she was caught with some pretty serious drugs. Amy, of course, maintains the presumption of innocence. But in the event she is guilty, in reality, what could have happened here? This is just a theory, my opinion. In the world of mental health counseling, including providing psychotherapy to those suffering from addiction, there is a phenomenon called addiction replacement. It is also referred to by other names, including addiction substitution, addiction transfer, and cross-addiction.
Yeah, I did this.
Essentially,
I
the
just
theory
fixed it
behind
up on
addiction
stream.
replacement is that the tendency to become addicted is what drives addiction, not
I'm
the
angry.
characteristics of a particular
I'm
substance
angry.
or behavior.
Yeah.
For instance, if a person is addicted
I'm
to
mad
heroin,
and I'm
banning
angry.
heroin will not solve the problem.
I'm
The
sorry, I
individual
just
may
need
have
to
a
test
preference
that.
for
I'm
heroin,
sorry.
but they will find a replacement for the drug if they can no longer access it. If they can no longer find any drug, they will still manage to secure a
Okay, so
replacement
that's
for the
3.
addictive behavior.
1,
For example,
2, 3.
they may start eating excessively, shopping excessively, gambling, or smoking. There will always be another
I like
destructive
the, I
behavior
think the open mouth.
in the line.
I mean the closed mouth.
The
needs to
theory
be
of
moved up a
replacement
little
addiction
more
is consistent with
to
the
make it
idea
look
that mental anguish drives addiction,
a little
like
more real.
depression or anxiety.
Oh yeah, and I
The
need to
addictive
fix the
behavior
eyeballs.
masks the pain. It makes life bearable. Telling someone who has a food addiction to reduce consumption
my eyeballs?
is good
Oh.
advice, but it
Add
is
new
not the
spray.
advice that will remedy the addiction. The destructive eating is a
Closed
symptom
eye.
of another condition.
Wipes.
Perhaps this is what
Oh, that's
happened in the
creepy.
case of Amy
That's
Slayton.
creepy.
As she achieved
Alright, that's
some
weird.
success in reducing food
Eyelashes.
consumption, the underlying pain came to the surface.
Uh,
The food served a purpose,
I don't
and
like
now
that.
it was gone. The drugs
That
that she
looks
allegedly
weird.
possessed functioned as a substitute for
You
the
have good
food
emotes.
that she was no longer consuming. It's worth noting that addiction
boy.
substitution does not always happen when a
Highlights.
person reduces the primary addictive behavior. Studies show that some people engage in what's called concurrent recovery, meaning the reduction of the primary addictive behavior is accompanied by the reduction of all their addictive behaviors.
This is weird.
Concurrent recovery is more likely to
This
occur
is really
in
weird.
people who are actively seeking
Rat
mental
roll.
health counseling and are
There we
serious
go, the rat
about
roll.
recovery. So it's really based on
His name is
the
Sir
level of
Raccoonton
motivation.
Hollywog.
Addiction substitution is more likely to happen when people
Foulworth
are not
the
seeking
third
treatment
and a half.
when their motivation
That's
is
this
low.
man. He's
It
the
is predicted
same.
by being wealthy, having poor coping skills,
boy.
having a severe addiction, possessing inferior self-help strategies, being
This is
surrounded by a poor
weird.
support network, and by the presence of other mental health symptoms.
This is really weird.
Unfortunately, addiction substitution often predicts a bad outcome. Not only is the new addiction destructive, the primary addiction
I don't like this.
often returns. Now moving to my final thoughts. TLC has not yet announced whether there will be a 6th season of 1,000 Pound Sisters, but I think it's likely to return. Some people wonder how Amy's arrest could affect the show. Like, will the network give up on the project? For some reality stars, an arrest like this would mean big trouble.
It's not you in
but
the corner.
This type of series thrives.
No, that's
on
not
disaster.
me in the corner.
I imagine that being arrested actually tips the scales in favor
not me.
of the show returning. Amy
that's
may have
my
actually
that's my
saved the
little
show
friend.
Through her alleged.
Yes, I am
camel-alerted
watching
drug
a video
possession
essay
activity.
about reality
It wasn't the
TV,
straw
and
that
I
broke
will
the
do
camel's
this time
back.
and time again.
Rather, from TLC's
with no
perspective,
repercussions.
It was a weight off their mind. Those are my thoughts in the case of Amy Slayton. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They consistently generate an interesting dialogue.
Okay.
As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic
I like
to
the
be
eyes
informative.
in this. This actually
Thanks
looks
for
a little
watching.
more alert. I want them to be able to move around. Yeah, I want the eyes to be, or the eye whites to be. Linked to the eyelashes, and then this is going to be linked to the eye whites. So then clip that, so when it moves around, wait, this isn't doing what I wanted it to do. It's supposed to clip. It's supposed to clip. I don't know what they're talking about, but it looks interesting. I guess the ladies from 60 Pound Life were like kissing a camel while high and they got arrested for it? I don't understand. Oh no, the camel ate the drugs that was in the car. Oh. Right-wing influencers secretly paid by Russia. Now, I don't know if I want to get into that. Politics. That is weird, though, that the poor camel, by the way, eating drugs. He doesn't want that. Man baby allegedly murders son after disturbing treadmill incident. What happened? Tread kill. Is that appropriate?
Hello, this is Dr. Grande.
Is that an appropriate
Today's
thing to
question
say?
is, can I analyze the
Isn't
case
this
of Christopher Gregor?
Clip
Just
link
a reminder,
sprites?
I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video.
Wait. No.
Only speculating
I
about
want
what
this
could be
to-
happening in a situation like
I want this to clip.
If you enjoyed this video, please like it. Subscribe to my channel and consider supporting me on
Oh my
Patreon.
god, that's
I'll put the link
creepy.
to Patreon in the description
Oh
for
my
this video.
god, that's
First, we'll look
creepy.
at the background of this case, move to the
Stop.
timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Christopher Gregor
This
was
is
born
so
on
weird.
May 21,
I'm going
1992,
crazy, bro.
and lived in the state of New Jersey. He attended Monroe Township High School, where he was an all-state defensive lineman. After graduating, he briefly attended a university in Middletown, Connecticut. In November
Just looking
2010,
around.
Christopher was
Just a
arrested
little
for
looker.
allegedly stealing from a woman's room in
I'm
a
just a little
dormitory
looker, bro.
and attacking two male students who tried to stop him during his escape.
Just a little looker.
He allegedly used his fists and elbows in the
I'm
attack.
just taking everything in, bro.
2013, Christopher started working as a marketing intern in Florida. After that,
Can
he
I
was a
edit the
sales associate.
position
In
of
2016, he earned a bachelor's
these
degree in psychology
eyebrows?
from a different college. And
Like,
started
let's
working as
say-
a real estate agent in New Jersey.
Okay.
In June 2017,
Oh, yeah.
Christopher started working
In
as
the
a
back
math
hair, it
teacher
needs to be
in
deleted,
Baltimore,
too.
Maryland. Between August
Bye-bye.
2017 and April 2018, he was charged with a number of offenses,
Back
including
hair.
assault, robbery, and destruction of public property.
Left ear.
Starting in February 2018, Christopher worked as a real estate
Right
agent
ear.
in New Jersey.
Perfect.
In 2019, he earned
All
a
right,
master's
I
degree
need to
in secondary education.
Link that to
and
the
teaching.
head.
As far as romantic contact,
And
Christopher
then
became
it's
involved
gonna
with a
go over
teenager
there.
named Brianna Michelo.
And then
On May 1, 2014,
I'm gonna link that
17-year-old
to
Brianna had
the
a son named
back
Corey Michelo.
hair.
Christopher
And
was
then
the
I'm
father,
gonna link that
but
to
he
the
did not know
back
that
hair.
at the time. He only
Why
learned
does
about
it
this
look
later
weird?
when Brianna sought child support.
Why does
From
that look
point on,
weird?
Christopher and Brianna shared joint custody. In March
That
2020,
was weird.
Christopher was awarded full custody of Corey.
Why did the ear do
because
that?
Brianna had difficulty regulating
Well, it's
her
fine.
intake
Left
of
ear, right ear.
substances. Christopher lived in an apartment.
Oh yeah,
in
and say
Barnegat,
goodbye
New
to those
Jersey,
eyebrows
and
being
Brianna
the
lived
same
in
eyebrow
Englishtown,
now.
which is about an hour north. There was a lot of tension between Christopher and Brianna. Now moving to the timeline of the crime.
Left eyebrow.
On March 20, 2021, Christopher and his son entered the fitness
Right
center
eyebrow.
for the Atlantic Heights apartment complex. This is the apartment
Right
complex
eyebrow.
where Christopher lived.
And I'm gonna
The
link
surveillance
that
camera
to
captured their
the
activity.
head.
Initially,
And I'm
Christopher
gonna
was
link
lifting
the
weights
right
as his son
eyebrow
was on
to
a
the head as
treadmill.
well.
At some point, Christopher went over to the treadmill.
It looks like I'm reading.
Corey was unable to keep up and fell off the
I really
treadmill
like that.
several times.
It looks like I'm reading.
Christopher could be seen.
Imagine
picking
being a
Corey
normal
up
animal.
and
Oh yeah,
putting him
I already
back
read
on the
that.
treadmill.
Sorry, I
After a
looked
few
at
of
it. It
the
was
falls,
highlighted.
Corey stood up on his
Highlighted it.
own and tried to jump back onto the moving treadmill
Whoa.
to continue running. He fell, slammed into the belt of the treadmill, and was thrown backward onto the floor.
I'm just looking
At one
around,
point
bro.
during this ordeal, Christopher
Wait,
appeared to bite,
I've missed this entire video.
then offer my analysis.
Okay.
Christopher started working as a math teacher in Baltimore, Maryland. Between August
Baltimore.
2017 and April 2018, he was charged with a number of offenses, including assault, robbery, and destruction of public property.
Oh, hell
Starting
no.
in February 2018, Christopher worked as a real estate agent in New Jersey. In 2019, he earned a master's degree in secondary education and teaching.
All right, hold on.
As far as
This
romantic
looks
contact,
normal.
Christopher
About
became
2.
involved with a teenager named Brianna
Oh,
Mitchell.
God.
On May 1, 2014, 17-year-old
this is
Brianna
sad.
had a son named Corey Mitchell. Christopher
Now
was
this
the
is
father,
angry.
but he did not know that at the time. He only learned about this later when Brianna sought child support. From that point on, Christopher and Brianna shared
If I
joint
want to
custody.
change the costume, I have to
In
tab
March
into
2020,
this and then
Christopher was
change
awarded
it.
full custody
Okay,
of Corey
that makes sense.
because Brianna
Ba,
had
ba, ba, ba,
difficulty
ba, ba.
regulating her intake of substances. Christopher
like your
lived in an
emotes.
apartment in Barnegat, New Jersey, and Brianna lived in Englishtown,
Northbound
which is about an hour
velocity.
north. There was a lot of
Bounce,
tension
bounce.
between Christopher
Okay.
and Brianna. Now moving to the timeline of the crime. On March
What about
20,
this?
2021, Christopher and his son entered the
Rotational
fitness
oh,
center
whoa.
for the Atlantic Heights
Whoa.
apartment complex.
Whoa.
This is the apartment complex where
Ooh,
Christopher
little
lived.
ear move.
A surveillance
a little
camera
bit.
captured their activity.
Oh,
Initially,
a little
Christopher
ear
was lifting
move.
weights as his
Ear
son
move
was on a
a
treadmill.
little bit. A little ear
At
move.
some point, Christopher went over to the treadmill
little?
and increased
Oh,
the speed.
Look at
Corey
those
was
ears.
unable
They're
to keep up and
bouncy.
fell off the treadmill several times.
Look at those cute little
Christopher could be
ears.
seen
Aw.
picking Corey up and putting him back on the treadmill.
Thank you.
After a few of the
I love
falls,
that one too.
Corey stood up on his own
Boop.
and tried to jump back onto the moving
Boop.
treadmill to continue running. He fell, slammed into the belt of the treadmill, and was thrown backward onto the floor.
Boop.
At one point during this
I like
ordeal,
that. 'Cause it's
Christopher
kind of
appeared
like
to
moving
bite
to the
Corey's
left and to
head.
the right, like a little
Corey
twitch.
sustained bruises during this incident.
Twitch.
When his mother Brianna saw them, she filed an emergency order for custody, but
Oh,
it was
boy.
denied on April 1, 2021. That same day, Brianna picked up Corey for scheduled visitation. She brought him to see a pediatrician. Eventually, Corey was evaluated in a hospital. He was discharged at 1 a.m., now on April 2. Brianna kept Corey that night and brought him back to Christopher at 9:03 a.m. At 3:48 p.m., still on April 2, Christopher
There.
brought Corey to the Southern Ocean
Yeah.
Medical Center in
Perfect.
Manahawkin.
It looks
He told medical
balanced
providers
and
that
good.
Corey woke up from
It
a
looks like
nap,
she's just kind of
slurring
looking
his
around.
words, stumbling, nauseated, and experiencing shortness of breath.
Oh,
As a
poor
CT
guy.
scan was being administered, Corey started having seizures. Medical providers attempted to save his life, but they were not successful.
What are
Corey was
like
pronounced
sprite
dead
frames?
at 5:03 p.m. Christopher did not wait around to see what would happen next. Rather,
How
he
do you
left
use
the
sprite
hospital.
frame?
He drove to Tennessee before returning.
An Omega
to
Chad
New
version
Jersey.
of your avatar.
On the next day, April
I
3rd,
have a
an
drawing that
autopsy
looks
was
like that
performed on
actually,
Corey's body.
which is really
The
funny that
medical
you said
examiner
that.
ruled that Corey's death
Hold
was
on.
caused by blunt force injuries with
Let me
cardiac
first put
and
my
liver
little clover
contusions,
right here.
acute inflammation, and sepsis. At that time, the manner of death was ruled undetermined. On July 7, 2021,
Perfect.
Christopher was arrested and charged with endangering the welfare of a child in relation to the treadmill incident from March 20. Even though this was a serious charge, falling on the treadmill did not appear to cause Corey's death. Christopher was released on bail. In September
Perfect.
2021, Corey's case
Aw,
was
that's so
reviewed
cute.
by
Look
a
at the little,
forensic pathologist. The pathologist believed that 4 to 12 hours prior to Corey's death, he sustained blunt impact injuries to the chest and abdomen with laceration of the heart, left pulmonary contusion, and laceration and contusion of the liver.
This
On
is
March
such
3,
this is such a
2022,
dark topic.
Corey's manner of death was ruled homicide. On March 9, Christopher Greger was arrested again and additionally charged with first-degree murder. The state claimed that he knowingly caused serious bodily injury resulting in the death of another. This time, Christopher
This was
held
before I
without
started
bail.
my mewing training.
The state put together their theory
Weak
of the
cheekbones,
crime. It was fairly
furry,
straightforward. They believed
femcel,
that Christopher
no
severely
jaw.
beat Corey
And
during the
then
time he was
after
alone with him
1 week of
on April
training,
2,
I don't need a mask
2021.
anymore because I'm an alpha.
On April 30,
I'm still a furry,
2024,
but
over
I get
3
hella
years after
bread and
Corey's
bitches.
death,
I get a strong
Christopher's
chin and
trial
a
started.
defined jaw.
At the time I'm making this video, the trial has been going on for
And
2
then
days.
here's a picture
Now
of
moving
me
to my analysis.
with my little man.
Christopher Greger maintains his
Just
innocence.
just
His
two
defense attorney
boys.
argued that the treadmill incident is
Just two
completely
boys
separate from
having
Corey's death.
fun,
Corey
doing
died
what
as
they
a
need to
result of
do,
sepsis
just
caused by
getting their
pneumonia,
gains.
and
We
it
took
had
this
nothing to
picture
do
when
with Christopher's behavior. The state, of
we went
course,
to the
disagrees.
gym. It was
They believe
crazy.
it is exceedingly clear that Christopher murdered his son. This brings me to the question: is Christopher guilty of murder? Let's take a look at the evidence, both for and against the idea that he is guilty.
I love that. This looks pretty differentiated, but I don't know how I'll be able to animate them. Like, toggle awaiting input. I'm confused. I think I'll have to look up a guide for that one. There's still so much about this that I don't really, like, understand. Because I've constructed this, and this is good, but I know I can push it farther now that I've dissected more pieces of it. Like, see, these only go side to side, really. In fact, let me increase their amplitude a little more so that they can swing. Let them swing. Swing, yay. Swing free. Let them swing. Wait, okay, that's just kind of like, it's static, though. Braid. Drag. What's that? Oh. Oh. It's like a little thing. Jeff the Papu. Okay, I'll look it up. 100% I'll look it up. Jeff the Papu. Well, what's sprite frame? So then sprite frame... Whoa. Whoa. What is this? Does that move? Huh. Okay. Here, let me take a look. Okay, Jeff the Papu. Oh boy. Oh boy. No. This is the last thing you see before you die. No. That's the last thing that you see before you die. Imagine you get mogged. You get terribly mogged when you see that, bro. No. I would never live that down. The shame. The shame I would have just from being humiliated like that. I don't know. He did that when he was gonna kill you. No. No.
Just a reminder,
no.
Completely separate.
I love
Corey's
the
death.
mewing meme. It
Corey
is one
died
of the
as a
best
result of
memes that
sepsis
has
caused by
come out
pneumonia,
this year.
And it had nothing to do with Christopher's behavior. The state, of course, disagrees. They believe it is exceedingly clear that Christopher murdered his son. This brings me to the question: is Christopher guilty of murder? Let's take a look at the evidence both for and against the idea that he is guilty, starting with the inculpatory factors. On April 2,
90?
2021, Christopher took Corey to a hospital where
perfect.
Corey died. No one else was with Corey in the hours leading up to his death. An expert for the state said that Corey died from blunt impact injuries.
There we go.
Christopher left the hospital and drove to Tennessee rather than waiting. About 2 weeks before Corey died, surveillance video captured Christopher mistreating Corey in the treadmill incident. Corey told a medical provider that his father forced him to run on the treadmill because he was too fat. The police said they could smell cleaned or dried vomit in Corey's bedroom in Christopher's apartment.
Dried.
On April 3, the day after Corey died, Brianna sent him a text message at 6:02 p.m. saying that the police were looking for him. At 6:09 p.m., Christopher used his phone to search the internet for the term, "Can your phone be tracked in airplane mode?" A minute later, he searched, "Can my car be tracked?" and "Will red marks turn into bruises?"
Awesome.
Christopher then sent a text
My
message
mom
to his
just
parents
gave me fucking
saying he would not be back for a
tortilla chips
while
she didn't want to
and
finish,
asked if they
bro.
would take
Hell
care of his
yeah.
dog. On April
Hell yeah,
4
bro.
at 9:58 p.m.,
It's the good
Christopher
Whole
searched,
Foods
quote,
guacamole with
"There
the
was a
chip.
murder determined
Hell
from
yeah.
an autopsy. How long to file charges?" Unquote. At 10:21 a.m., he searched, quote,
"That's good.
"How long after an autopsy to file
Oh,
charges?"
yeah.
Unquote. At 12:17 p.m., Christopher sent a message to a woman on Tinder saying that he was going to see his brother in Los Angeles. In reality, Christopher was in Tennessee. He stayed there for one night before heading back to New Jersey. Brianna claimed that she reported many instances of mistreatment perpetrated by Christopher against Corey, but no one listened to her. Moving to the exculpatory factors, Christopher's defense indicated that experts would testify that Corey died from sepsis caused by pneumonia. As far as the other injuries observed on Corey, life-saving techniques used by medical providers could have been the cause. Even though the treadmill incident looks bad for Christopher, it seems clear that the injuries sustained during that incident did not lead to Corey's death. Corey was evaluated by medical providers after that incident. Based on the timeline, it is possible that the fatal injuries Corey sustained occurred before he was dropped off to Christopher. Corey was in a hospital being evaluated until 1 a.m. on April 2.
I have to fix the head.
He was with his mother at this time. She dropped him off to Christopher just after 9 a.m. Christopher brought Corey to a different hospital where Corey died just after 5 p.m. According to a forensic pathologist, the injuries that killed Corey occurred 4 to 12 hours prior to his death.
Isn't it?
This means that Corey was attacked sometime between 5 a.m. and 1 p.m.
Well, let's see what I can do.
During the first 4 hours of that time range, Corey was with Brianna. Christopher's defense argued that when Brianna took her son to the hospital, she was told that he might have sepsis as a result of complications from pneumonia. Brianna chose to take him out of the facility against medical advice and took him to Christopher. If she was so worried about Christopher harming Corey, why did she do that? On the stand, Brianna admitted that she regularly used methamphetamine years earlier. Just before Corey died on April 2, Brianna texted her boyfriend and asked him to get her methamphetamine.
No!
She admitted that after Corey died, she threw bones, eggs, rocks, and dead fish at the house where Christopher's parents lived. When considering all the evidence in this case, do I think that Christopher Greger is guilty of murder?
I can't undo it! No!
I believe he is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
No!
When considering the treadmill incident, it's reasonable to believe that Christopher regularly mistreated Corey. The alleged fatal violence perpetrated on April 2 was probably just another attack in a long series. Christopher may not have intended to kill Corey, but he knew his actions could lead to death. There is no way to be sure about what a jury might do, but I would be surprised if Christopher was acquitted.
I just need to do this.
When speaking about the treadmill incident, his defense attorney told the jury, "You're not going to like him." At least on this point, the attorney's assessment is accurate. What do I think happened in this case?
Open mouth.
This is just a theory, my opinion.
Because I'm sad.
Christopher Greger is immature, impulsive, irresponsible, aggressive.
Wait, let me change the head first.
There are many reasons that Christopher allegedly mistreated Corey. For example, he wanted to teach Brianna a lesson. He was angry with her. It was his way of getting revenge on her. Or it's possible that Corey was a constant reminder of Brianna. Christopher saw Brianna in Corey, like he realized that Corey had some of her traits. This made Christopher upset.
Okay.
He wanted to eradicate those traits
Delete.
from Corey.
Oh
After
my God,
allegedly
this looks
murdering
so
Corey,
weird.
Christopher fled because he knew he was guilty. He searched for the term, "there was a murder determined from an autopsy, how long to file charges," because he knew that he had committed murder. After Christopher was arrested, he was offered a plea bargain. The terms indicated that he would plead guilty to both the murder and the endangering charge in exchange for 30 years in prison. Normally, in New Jersey,
that wasn't that
a
bad.
prisoner must serve 85% of their sentence, but the terms of this
Why
plea
do I still
bargain
see-
indicated that Christopher would serve the entire 30-year term.
No.
There was no way to get released before 30 years. This meant that instead of being eligible for parole at the age of 57, which factors in the 85%
That's
rule,
fine.
he would have been in prison until the age of 62. One can appreciate why
that's
Christopher
fine.
would not be excited to spend
I don't
30 years in
care.
prison, and worse yet, 30 years in New Jersey. But the plea bargain Christopher was offered
I don't care.
was actually a good deal. The minimum sentence he is facing if convicted
fine.
of murder is 30 years in prison.
Braid.
The maximum
Ugh.
is life in prison. In addition, the expected
Eyes.
sentence for the endangerment charge
An
is between
eye.
5 and 10 years. Rejecting the plea deal just doesn't make
Oh,
any
wait, I
sense
should
at all,
actually just delete
and
this.
supports the theory that Christopher is living in a
Closed eye.
fantasy
This-
world.
oh, this is so
where he can
creepy!
avoid all responsibility
I hate it!
for his behavior. Now moving to my final thoughts. As I mentioned, Brianna said that she alerted the
that's
authorities
closed.
many times about Christopher's bad
Okay,
behavior,
perfect.
but no one listened to her. It's possible that
wish
she
I
was
didn't have to
ignored
do
because of her
this
history of
again, 'cause I
substance use,
fucked up.
or simply because she was involved in a custody
Oh,
dispute.
boy.
It is not unusual for individuals in these types of disputes
Uh,
to lie about each other. The lesson learned in this case is how it's important for the authorities to investigate all allegations, even those made by people who may
Yeah,
have
but
an
we'll get it back.
ulterior
We'll
motive.
get it back.
One thing about this case is certain. The circumstances conspired in such a way that Corey did not have any chance of remaining safe. The treadmill incident is a metaphor for his impossible situation. No matter how fast he tried to run, there was no way to escape.
Oh my God,
Those
that's
are my thoughts on the
dark.
case of Christopher Greger. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As
Oh,
always, I hope
boy.
you found my analysis of this topic to be informative. Thanks for watching.
Okay, that works. Now the eyes can do their thing. Oh boy. Hey Marseille. Welcome back. Things aren't going well in the Kofu house. I accidentally deleted everything. So I had to go back and redo it. And don't look too bad. Looks fine. Everything just looks a little too shifty. Like maybe the eyelashes need to be over to the right. Perfect. And the eyebrows need a clip to the head. What? What did I just do? I feel like I didn't. Oh, they're already clipped. My ass, bro. Okay, delete. Because now we need to delete this. And I have no head. That is a smug smile. Yeah, it is. But there's nothing to be smug about, really. Back of hair, back of hair, back hair, back hair. Oh. Okay. That's fine. Left ear. No head. Right ear. I suppose not. I suppose not. Ooh, this guac is so good. Oh, Bob. Oh. Delicioso. Back hair. Alright, perfect. Yay! Move the ear up. Do da Boop da ba doo. Yeah, yeah, doo ba. Doop da ba doo. Dibby da ba. Alright, that looks good. No, it's fine. That's fine, bro. I don't mind. People who are born here speak worse English than non-native speakers, which is really sad. Honestly, non-native speakers probably had the best, understanding of English than anyone else that I've really met. Which is sad, but true. Oh yeah, and I need to replace the braids and the costume. Uh-oh. Someone's naked. Dubby-dabba. Braid? Where are braids? There we go. Okay. Let's clip to the body. So they should be up here. Perfect. Huh. They don't look right exactly. Girl, cover those up. Oh, that looks right. Braids. Those link to the head. Perfect. And then let them swing. Let them swing around. Swing. Roman. Take your medication, Roman. Wait, how do I get... I know there was a way to make the bottom because it was, rotational... Whoa. Whoa. Oh yeah, that's how it was. It was like this. Wow. 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 Nah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Perfect. Perfect. But I kind of don't like the braids. I mean the bangs. Doing that. I don't really want them to, but when they do that stuff, then maybe a little bit. Adjust. Look at my little head. This is messed up. Look at my little head. Where's my left ear? No. My right ear. I mean, it looked normal when I put it This is oh, I know what I'm missing. Okay, I know what I'm missing. There we go! That's perfect. I like that it jumps. It jumps! It jumps when I jump. Yes. Perfect. Guys, I'm going gold here. I'm going gold with my new VTuber thing. I love it too. She's so cute. I did good. Can I lessen the drag just a little bit? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. No, I have to go here, I think. Bop, bop. 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 Bip. Bop, bada, boom. How do I make it go like... This is so weird. No, I wanted to like... Wait. There we go. It's like that. Wah. Whoa. Weh. Wah, wada, woo, wah, wah. Way, whoa, whoa, wee, wah, whoa, way. Rotational drag. 1. What about -4? -2? -1? -1. One little thing. It's so sensitive. You have to be really careful. You're green with it. If I was a rich man with $1 million or 2, I'd live in a penthouse in a room with a view. And if I was handsome, no way it could happen. Those dreams do come true. I wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have you. Wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have. Wouldn't have nothing. Can I tell you, Sully? For years I have envied. You're green with it. Your grace and your charm. Everyone loves you, you know. Yes, I know, I know, I know. I know sometimes you get a little blue. Wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have me. Wouldn't have nothing if... I keep clicking ear. I need eyebrow. Eyebrow. Left eyebrow. Right eyebrow. There we go. Can I tell you, Sully? For years I have envied. You agreed with it. Your grace and your charm. Everyone loves you. You know. Bruh. What if... Oh boy. Hold on. Eyebrows. What if I just had it like up like this, like all the time? So I just always looked like questioning, you know? Like, bruh. No! This is so bad! Guys, should I keep it like this? I feel like my eyes are a little to the left too much. Hold on. Perfect. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, bro. No! Be nice. I don't want to talk to you if you won't talk to me nice. I like that, though. This is good. I just want the little ear flick again. I want the little, like, ear flick. Because I had a little ear flick going on. Look. Look. Very cute. Like, I make a little, like, eh. Yeah! My little ear bounce. See, it bounce. It move. Left ear. Everyone loves you, you know. Yes, I know, I know, I know. Bruh. We both know I get a little blue. I wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have you. Wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have. Wouldn't have nothing. Can I tell you, Sully? But I'm sorry. I don't know why that's stuck in my ear right now. It's like entirely stuck in my ear and I can't get rid of it. And do I want to? Honestly, I don't know. Because I have envied. Your grace and your charm. Everyone loves you, you know. Yes, I know, I know, I know. Ooh. I kind of like that. You're green with it. Look at my little eyes. They're just so invested. What do you guys think? One more time! I'm sorry. there was a tortilla stuck in my, like, in the back of my throat. I had to go. What do you guys think? I don't know. I want this to be like a little more, maybe just play around with the settings. Like that. Maybe like that. I like it like that. Hey, one more time, cover with the radio on. I like it like that. Yeah, one more time, but with the radio on. Ba-da-da. It kind of move a little too much. There's like a little too much bounce, I feel like. Like, I don't really like it. I don't like it anymore. I like the ears moving, though. Not the braids. Huh. But the braids need a little movement, just not that much movement, you know? Maybe the trick is to, like, have it kind of like that. Right? Oh, that's the trick. And then when it does that, then it's kind of like a more gentle... What? Why is that so, like... What about that? Okay, now let's see if it's the bounce velocity. Because there's a possibility. Where do I open that in? Because there's another thing that you can edit that in. Not that one. This one. Bounce gravity. Now that might... Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa! That was too intense. I was floating away. Okay. Bounce. 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 Costume bounce? Ooh, that's cool. I don't know what that is. Bounce force. Bounce. 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 Jiggle, jiggle. I'm sorry. I know I'm saying just bounce over and over again, but I need to check. Like, look. It looks good. I like the ears. The little twitch. I think one should stay not moving, so the other one looks like it's moving a lot, you know? I like it like that. Yeah, like, one should kind of, like, twitch a little bit, you know? Maybe that one has, like, the teeniest, tiniest twitch. Like that. Like that. Like that. My right ear twitch. That's what I want. And this one, ooh, now it looks like an ear flick. Ear flick. Perfect. Squash. Squash. What does this do? Oh, that kind of works a little bit, actually. Makes it look like a more authentic ear flick, like this. Bah! Bah! I like that. Looks like my little ear needs to have a little flicky poo. Just a little one. A little. A little. A little. There we go. Bah! 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 I think this is done. What do you guys think? I think she's put together. Like, I lessened a little bit of the bounce, I know, but it's kind of good, right? It's a little... Oh, well, the bang's moving now. That's good. Thank you. I think it's good. I don't think I need to overthink it too much, you know? I overthink things a lot. Yeah. That's what I think. I have the sad mouth. And now... Oh, there's no angry mouth. Hold on. Add new sprite. Angry closed mouth. Angry open mouth. I at least want to be able to do this. That's closed. That's open. And that's only available on costume layer 3. Perfect. And then that links to the head. Perfect! Rah! Rah! And I wonder, can you change? Like, Costume key 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that works. So, guys, that was a great stream. Let's put her on the corner and let's see how she does. I'm angry. This is the sound of me being angry. This is the sound of me being happy. Sad. Oh, but why? Ha, that. Rah. Rah. I like that. That's funny. I really like that. Let me toggle with it a little more. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba. I fucking sound crazy. Bro, if anyone ever wanted to sample my voice, that was the perfect opportunity to do so. When I was going bow 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 down 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 bow bow down 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 do 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 do. This is how I imaginate you saying that. Yeah, that is exactly how I'm saying that. Do 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 ba. Ooh 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 ooh. Do 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 do. This is just sadness. This is just happiness. I look so smug. Hold on, let me lower the smile. It looks higher up. Hold on, okay, I swear, I'm gonna end the stream soon, but trust. Perfect. Alright, that was gonna bother me forever. I hope you guys enjoyed my stream. And learned what it takes to be not just the very best, like no one ever was, but learn to be real. Have your own PNG-TUBER. Play around with it. Make little parts. Do as you please. Hopefully all of you have learned. Now, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have something for you to do. Hold on, give me 1 second. I have something for you to do. So, you're gonna play this game, and you're gonna thank me. And you're gonna thank me, because it is one of the best games that you can just play. You just put it on your computer and you play it. It doesn't get much simpler than that, folks. You play as a cat who wins it all and loses it all. That, my friends, is the story of corporate America. I love you guys. I hope you have a good night. Bye, everybody.